What up? What up? What up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me make some adjustments. What up? What up? What up, everybody? Hit the like button on your way in if you don't mind. Hit the like button on your way in. I want to talk a little bit about what up, everybody? What up? What up? What up? Yeah, just threw on a suit jacket. Some slight. Matter of fact, give me one sec. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. Because I'm going to get hot. What's up? What's up? What's up? Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So look, we've talked over the past couple of weeks, obviously, about the Charlie Kirk situation. There's been a lot of theories. There's been a lot of things going on. A lot of people have different opinions. But I think most people have come to the same conclusion, and that is to not trust and not believe what the feds have been telling us. I think most people are on the same page with that. There's a lot of red flags. Yeah. So I probably shouldn't use the word debate, but I will have a guest on the show today who I will be having a discussion with. It's a guy I respect. He's also a content creator. He's a YouTuber. And we're going to have a dialogue about Candace Owens, because I believe he says that he agrees with most of the things that we talked about, but I actually don't think that he agrees with most of it. I think he agrees with some of it, but we'll have a discussion. I'm going to say here early, please be respectful in the comment section. We are not disrespecting anyone on this platform. I do not condone that. I will have you blocked. I'm not joking. It's all right to disagree with people. It's all right to agree with people, but just be respectful about it. That's all I ask. So before we bring him onto the platform and we're going to have a discussion, we're going to play a little bit of his video clip that I saw on YouTube, and I commented under his video. And I basically told him that I 100% agree with Candace Owens' approach and the things that she's been saying about this Charlie Kirk situation. And the comment that he said back to me was, now, don't get me wrong, you make good content. He says that I make good content, but your conspiracy is going way off the charts, bro. Let's just be honest. I don't really see any actual proof or evidence that this claim is true. And this claim is the specific claim that Candace was making about valves and pipes and, a potential underground door sitting underneath Charlie Kirk, which we'll get into. He will have a chance to be able to defend himself. But he says that my conspiracy is going way off the charts. Bro, let's just be honest. I don't really see any actual proof or evidence that this claim is true. And that's what's wrong with the right now, right? You have the right and the left in politics. He said that's what's wrong with conservatives right now. We used to go off of factually based information, and now we just go off of what someone else says, like the left does. I really do like Candace, but she needs to show actual proof and evidence, not just conspiracy. So we're going to now play a clip of what he said, and then I'm going to bring him onto the platform. Also, I'm going to play at some point Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes gave his opinions on Erica Kirk. And I also have some additional information to share about Erica Kirk. But let's first listen to the Chicago Conservative. That's the name of his platform, and he'll have a chance to plug his channel. Let's listen to an excerpt of what the Chicago Conservative had to say about Candace Owens' approach surrounding the Charlie Kirk situation. It always does this, but I can't prepare at this time. I can't prepare this time. Let's see. There it is. All right, let's go.
integrity, or the feds in general have any integrity after you guys gaslit us about Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. So if you want us to, or if you want to restore credibility to the feds, I would allow the mommy sleuths to take over. That's my opinion. I'd get in touch and allow the internet to do what the internet does, because now you're answering everything that we brought up. Not me, we, because it is because of the entire world paying attention, sending tips. I'm grateful to God that I have a platform to be able to share that information and to encourage it. But this.
Okay, I understand that people are trying. First of all, I thought the killer was already caught. You know, Tyler Robinson, you know, the 20-year-old young leftoid nut job. Now I'm not really sure what Candace is digging for at this point, but you know, a lot of people are still speculating that Israel has something to do with this. And I'm not gonna throw that out. You know, that still could be on the table, guys. But in my opinion, we just gotta let people do their job. You know, because we don't want to have people having too many conspiracies when it comes to this Charlie Kirk death. And I do understand that when it comes to the 2 assassinations on Donald Trump, I understand that he was also a 20-year-old kid, fairly young, white male. And that building that he was on top of was owned by BlackRock. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to try to make connections and things like that. But, I mean, look, a lot of people are saying that there was some footage that Candace saw and Charlie got shot from, and it was an angle from behind. No blood, I believe, came from the back end. So, I mean, they did say that the bullet went in and out, but I think they switched their story saying that, oh, I think it got like repelled off of the bone or something like that, guys. That's what I'm saying. I'm honestly not even sure what to believe anymore. This is just getting a little bit too wild. But I honestly just don't want to speculate everything too fast.
So this is just coming from regular people around the world. And now you guys are, it feels like playing defense because you have not been playing offense. So yeah, that would be my free advice that's not going to be listened to. But while I have your attention, I do have a few more questions that could be answered, or maybe some leads that you guys could be exploring, if you will, because once.
But that's the thing see, man, I love Candace. I will never take anything away from her, especially when it comes to the greatest lie ever sold, the Black Lives Matter movement. I will never take that away from Candace Owens. But to me, it just sounds like speculation. It don't really sound like factually based information. You see what I'm saying? I saw the video of the guy taking down the camera after Charlie Kirk got shot for some odd reason. And I don't know if he removed the SD card or not. I'm not really sure. That was kind of interesting why he did that. I'm not really sure. And Candace, I believe, knew this guy and she gave him a call. And after they talked, I believe the man said that he wanted to save the footage. So he grabbed it as fast as he could or something like that. But my thing is this. You can't really move anything if it's a crime scene. You see what I'm saying, guys? So that's really suspicious to me, okay? So I'm not really trying to get nobody in trouble or anything like that. I'm honestly not even saying that Israel didn't do it, because you guys already know how I'm coming. But the thing is, they already caught the guy. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not really, I just don't see why we just can't have Charlie rest in peace, man. I didn't agree with everything the guy said. I agreed with, I would say 60% of what Charlie Kirk said, guys, I did agree with. But besides all of the, Israel stuff, I mean, it's like Charlie Kirk was a good man and he deserves rest. And I believe that we need to give the respect to his wife. But I just found out some new information about her too, guys. I don't really want to come out with that just yet, but there's a lot of questionable stuff about Erica Kirk. But I honestly just think that it's just more conspiracy. But let's just continue.
Okay, there's a lot I there's a lot of problems with this clip, respectfully. But I'm like I said before I continue, I'm gonna bring him onto the platform, and we're gonna discuss this. There's so many things that he said, respectfully, that just does not make sense. And I want to, because he's a very intelligent guy. You all will be able to see that, but I want to discuss it with him. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring my brother on. Let's get this right.
Hey, how's it going? Can you guys
What's
see me?
up, bro?
Yo, what up, DD?
Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for coming onto the platform. The Chicago Conservative. If you want to just introduce yourself real fast, man, tell everybody about your channel, and then we can get into the clip.
Yes, sir. So my name's Vashawn, aka the Chicago Conservative, born and raised in Chicago, 28 years old, from the South Side. Born and raised, and I kind of got into conservative content after I just started realizing that the Democratic Party wasn't shit. I'm gonna just be honest with you guys. Fairly based. I don't really sugarcoat anything, and I don't jump to conclusions as fast as a lot of people do. And I tend to just want to get to the main facts to basically prove someone's innocent or guilty before I, make my final thoughts or conclusions on that. So, and here's the thing. I know we're going to get into this, but it's like I'm not trying to be biased towards myself, but I don't necessarily think that I said anything wrong. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you think that jumping ahead as far as like with no factual based information, because we just gonna get right into it, because I'm just really geeked up about this conversation. Now, we both know how I feel about Israel. We both know how I feel about BB fucking shithead, okay? We both know how I feel about the Jews. But here's the thing, right? We don't want to go off the deep end. You see what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is now, when I said that I don't want us to end up like the left, right? I mean that to say that the left always jump to conclusion. Oh, this person did this and this person did that. Now, granted, these people are crazy, but this is why we are who we are. This is why Trump basically won the presidential, election. This is why we got the House and the Senate, because we have common sense. We use information, and we tend to use our brains before we come to a conclusion. Now, when it comes to the whole Charlie Kirk thing, man, look, to me, it just sounds like, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't even really know, because there's a lot of stuff that's just coming out that's fairly new. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not even necessarily disagreeing with you for real, but I don't want to come out and say, oh, it's the Jews without having proof, like 9/11 and JFK. You see what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna let you go ahead, because this is your platform. I'm sorry.
Nah, bro. Well, first and foremost, I don't care about it being my platform, brother. This is my house is your house, bro. You free to speak as long as you want. You free to say and speak as you please, man. Like I don't care about that type of stuff, bro. You've had me on your platform, I'm having you on mine. I don't care about that. You said that you don't see anything wrong with this with your clip. Now, everything that we're going to discuss here is going to be in respect, and it's going to be coming from a place of love. And we're just trying to get to the truth at the end of the day. There's a lot of things wrong with your clip, respectfully. So to me, again, respectfully, it seems that you're a bit confused. It seems that you contradicted yourself. And I'm always so the reason why I wanted to have this conversation live is because it's important that we talk things out like this in front of other people, so we can figure out how you have people like me make the content that I do, because there's too many coincidences. I'm going to ask you a hypothetical question. If you are in college, you have 2 to 3 roommates in your dormitory. Let's say you go to class, you come back from class, and your pack of cookies is missing. You don't have any cameras in your dorm. You have no definitive proof who stole your cookies. You ask your roommates, and your roommates all tell you they have no clue what happened to your cookies. One of your roommates has cookie crumbs on their shirt. You never saw him steal it. You don't have definitive proof. Would it make sense? Is the most logical thing to do in said scenario is to suspect that this person may have taken your cookies, you should be able to ask this person questions, or because you don't have definitive proof and you don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, you should just leave it alone.
Okay, so I see where you're going, right? So, and that's why proof matters. Okay, now he can have cookie crumbs on his shirt. You say your cookies are gone. You have 3 roommates, and one of those roommates have cookie crumbs on their shirt. Now, granted, like you said, and I'm gonna use your words here. You're not use well. Can you repeat that last statement? You said you're gonna assume, or you can speculate. I think that was the word you used.
No. Should you suspect that there's a chance that this person may have taken your cookies? Should you investigate that?
Right. So key word is suspect. Yes, you can be suspicious, right? Now we can both agree that that is a little suspect, but is it proof?
I agree with you, but here's the problem though, bro. The clip that we played at the beginning of this video, you were ranting about Candace Owens in so many words, going off on the deep end because she don't have proof. Candace Owens never said she had proof of anything. Candace Owens is investigating this Charlie Kirk and bringing up all the red flags, which, by the way, she's doing it more so than Erica Kirk is herself. But hold on, bro. Hold on.
I can agree with that.
So this does not get lost. There's a lot of things. You said that we should trust and let the FBI do their job. Do what? You talking about the same FBI? The director of who's Cash Patel?
Cash Patel.
That person? The person who has dropped the ball with Jeffrey Epstein had a completely different. Hold on. Had a completely different tone before he became a part of this administration. Now all of a sudden he's a part of the administration, which, by the way, his girlfriend, partner, wife, whoever that young girl is that he's dating, I believe could potentially be his handler because she's connected to them boys. I don't say that country's name. I try not to say it on this channel. She's connected to them boys. That FBI we should trust. The same FBI that has been pressuring Utah to close the Charlie Kirk case. This FBI we should just let do their job.
No. I get your point. The FBI can't be trusted. But here's the thing, though. Who can? You see what I'm saying? Now, we can sit up here and say that Candace didn't say that she had any proof, but that's what ultimately matters, though. Why Tyler Robinson is in jail or prison right now, he's standing trial, is because they have proof that this man was on the roof, even though that there was some fishy foot being at Baskin Robbins. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like you said, I am confused. I will admit to that because there's just a lot of fishy stuff going on. So I will admit that I am confused when it comes to all this stuff because there are some things.
What proof? You said they have proof. What proof do they have?
You have hold on. You asked the question, right? So here's the thing. You're basically saying that Candace Owens is more, she's more credible than the FBI. So you're gonna have people now. Look, I'm not saying that she's not, but my thing is this.
What are you saying then? You're going back and forth.
My thing is this though, bro. Do you want regular people, going to Candace Owens for information other than the FBI? Okay, let's say you got a family member, right? So you're gonna trust Candace Owens for the investigation other than the FBI?
Not only Candace Owens, I trust regular everyday people, including using discernment, over the FBI. Absolutely. But are you kidding me? The FBI is not even entertaining all the other alternatives. There's more evidence that suggests that Tyler Robinson didn't do this.
But this is what I think. But this is my thing, though, D. This is what makes people insane, bro. This is how trust issues come into play. Because now you can't trust anybody. That makes you paranoid, bro. You see what I'm saying? And you can only trust certain people that only think like you. And that's not how. And that's what I'm saying. Like when I said in the comment section, we don't want to think like the left, bro. Like what Charlie Kirk did, he sat down with people who disagreed with him. You got to think of the key word, disagreed. Let's say, oh, this person don't think like I do, so now I don't want to have anything to do with him. That's what we don't want.
Who's doing that? Who's doing that?
I'm not saying you are, but
I'm saying who. Name a person that's doing that though.
You got to think about the words that Candace the words that Candace Owens is using, bro.
She says we should not trust the feds. I agree with her.
Right. Look, now look, do I 100% trust the feds? Hell no. And that's the thing. Nobody can be 100% trusted, bro. That's the thing. Nobody. You see what I'm saying? Not even Candace Owens. You see what I'm saying? Like, the thing is this. Okay, we can go on and on and on and on about conspiracies, right? But that's gonna ultimately lead us nowhere if it don't lead us to facts. You see what I'm saying? Now, and this came out your own mouth. She never said that this was facts. These are all just conspiracies, bro. And
why do you keep using this word conspiracy? That's not going to work on this channel, bro. We are critical thinkers.
But
the feds have been, listen, hold on, just real quick. The feds have been lying. They have been caught in so many lies about this Charlie Kirk event. Bro, right immediately after the Charlie Kirk incident happened, they paved over the area. Why would they be doing that?
Look. Nobody is saying that the feds isn't lying, bro.
It seems like you don't know what you're saying, though, bro.
My thing is this, bro. We have to give respect to the man that is dead, bro, and his kids. Like, I'm
so confused. The best way to respect somebody in their death, if you believe that he's dead, is to actually investigate what actually happened to him.
But the thing is, they already caught the guy. And if they didn't catch the right guy, where's the proof? That's my whole thing.
Let's get into the proof.
So Tyler Robinson, he was radicalized by left-wing rhetoric, which, let's be honest,
you don't know that. The feds told you that.
Oh, whoa. I do know that because he texts his transgender lover.
You don't know that, bro.
How do I don't?
The feds told you that, bro.
No, this came out of his phone. Now, my thing is this. He has pictures with this transgender. He lived with them. This is what the information is getting from the parents. This is coming from the parents, not the feds, bro. This is coming from the parents. He was living with a transgender. And the transgender did not. I mean, let's be honest, bro. Anybody that's trans, they're not gonna like any conservatives, especially one like.
That's not true. There are literally transgender conservatives. That's not true.
I understand that, but majority of them do not like conservatives, bro.
You are still thinking left versus right. I'm far beyond that. What I'm saying is, where's the evidence?
You going off of possibility. I'm going off of probability. Probability-wise, majority of transgenders do not like conservatives, bro.
Okay, Tyler Robinson is not a transgender, though, so let's continue. Go ahead.
Tyler Robinson, I said his lover was.
We don't know that. We don't know if that was his lover, bro.
Definitely was his lover, because when you look at the text messages, he said, "My love."
You know that Tyler Robinson came from a Republican family?
Yes. And majority of school shooters, majority of transgenders, majority of these left-wing nut jobs, they tend to come from conservative homes because it's a thing when it comes to the rejection of the parent and God, bro.
Fair enough. Let me ask you a question. Why did they arrest Tyler Robinson, bro?
Because he got turned in.
By who?
By his parents.
Now watch this. I'm going to go to the police and I'm going to tell them that Chicago conservative shot someone. Are they going to arrest you? Why would they arrest you simply because I said you did it? You didn't admit to it. Tyler Robinson has never confessed to anything.
No. Here's the thing. He told his parents, and his parents went to the police.
He did not tell his parents.
Huh?
He did not tell his parents.
But he did, though.
No, he didn't, bro.
The parents saw him on the news. They saw these pictures on social media, and they said that this looks like my son. So when they questioned him, they like, "Is this you?" The father asked him, "Is this you?" And he admitted to it, and he said yes. And he's like, "Okay, what did you do with this?" "I used my granddad's rifle."
Even if that was true, that's actually not true. But even if that was true, they can't arrest you simply because. Wait, listen to what I'm asking you, bro. Even if that's true, when the feds come, they need proof of it, though. Where's the proof of it? They can't arrest you because your parents said you did it. They have to have proof.
The rifle matched the bullet.
What bullet? A 30-06?
I mean, look.
The bullet that's supposed to blow your head up. It's all over the internet. Everybody knows that's not what he was powed with. Have you been following this case, brother? That's what I'm telling you, man. respectfully, bro.
So where's the proof, though? That's what I'm saying. So what did he get shot with then? So if it wasn't that, then what was it?
That's what we're trying to figure out. We know what it wasn't. The Fed said it was a 30-06. We know it's not, bro.
So I don't care what it was and what was then. So in the case, that's what it was. And if that wasn't, then what was? You can't say, "Oh, this wasn't the bullet." Okay.
Hey, brother, listen.
Bullet.
All right, listen to what I'm saying to you. Just because I can't tell you what it was, listen, man. You're not listening to me, brother. You're behaving like the left. Listen to me first. We don't have to know exactly the caliber as of yet. What's important right now is that we know what it wasn't. Why is that important? Because they told us it's a 30-06. We know that's not what killed him. That's not what the result will look like. It's all over the internet. All we need is what it wasn't. They told us it's something. We've proven that it's not that.
So did you read the autopsy?
The autopsy is not public.
Okay. So how do you know that?
I just told you. It's all over the internet. 30-06 would not have that impact on people, bro.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, but no. So you're making my point now, because that's my thing. What you just said, like I just said in the beginning and in the clip I said, you're going off of conspiracy, bro. If that wasn't the caliber, what's the next question? From a rational person, they're gonna ask you, okay, then what was? Oh, I don't know. Okay, then your point is moot. That point is pointless. If you can't tell me what actually shot Charlie Kirk, then what the hell is your point of saying that wasn't the bullet?
Let me ask you a question. They said that Tyler Robinson pow Charlie Kirk from in front of him. Do you know that that's been debunked hundreds of times? He was not pow from the front. What you got? What you got, bro?
I mean, you're the one making the claim. So if he wasn't shot from the front, then you have to prove that. I mean, me personally, I don't necessarily see how he was shot from any other side besides the front, because we saw the bullet. I mean, we saw him get shot. So I mean, if he got shot from the back or anything like that, I mean, why wasn't he like this? I mean, let's be honest, bro. You know when somebody gets shot, like. He didn't get shot from the back. In my opinion, I don't think he got shot from the back. He probably got shot from the side. He definitely got shot front angle. Nobody was behind him when he.
Are you trolling me, bro? Are you trolling me?
What is the troll? When someone gets shot, they're gonna react to where the pressure is coming from. When Charlie Kirk got shot, he basically repelled this way. If he got shot from the back,
see you, bro. Hey, bro, your camera is off. I can't see you.
Hold on. Can you see me?
Nope, it's still off.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
If you want to click out and maybe click back into the link.
Okay, hold on. Give me 1 second.
I bet. Yo, this is going to be entertaining because, again, I respect the brother and this is all in love, but nothing he's saying is making sense. I'm very curious to hear what he's going to say, how Charlie Kirk's body reacted to this powing. If he says that it's consistent with getting hit from the front, he's trolling me. He's trolling me. But I like to give a man an opportunity to explain himself. There you go. We can see.
Yeah.
Now Charlie Kirk's body reacted how?
I mean, we all saw the gruesome video, right?
Tell me how his body reacted, bro.
He got shot and he repelled back. So my hold up from the back.
Your camera went out again, bro.
Damn, what the?
I see that he added Jared to this link as well. I didn't realize he was going to give the link to someone else, which is fine. I believe I met Jared on his channel. Jared, are you there, bro? And if you're there, maybe I can discuss this with you if I see you pop up on camera. Okay. I'm gonna add Jared until my guy gets back. Jared, how's it going, bro?
How you doing, Didi?
What do you think about this back and forth?
Okay, I see where Vashon is coming from. So I'm of the take. I align a little more closely with him than I do with you on a lot of this stuff. So I've seen tons of the conspiracy. So it's his lav mic. I've heard about that exploding, that it was somebody from behind, the muzzle flash that was hidden back in the shadows. There was a guy who did a video on, it was basically they're trying to see if he was wearing body armor. And there is a rifle plate. It's a thin. It's only a level 2 or 3A. So it's not a vest, which a lot of people would think just a basic Kevlar vest. And there's a guy, I cannot remember his channel. He did a similar replication of this with a 30-06. And obviously when a round hits, impacts, it spalls. So it's going to mushroom that round, and then that round is going to deflect, which would explain why it was something that looked like an exit wound, not an entry wound. And it also described kind of the shirt flying up. You could see the drastic movement of his shirt.
Right.
That's indicative of something hitting like with great force, and all of that load being spread across the entire plate. So that's the one that right now seems to make the most sense to me. The second shooter, third shooter, I'm not even going to say that this kid is the one that did it. I know you had referenced him before, or talking with him before, that it was the parents that turned him in, no evidence. I admit that is somewhat strange, but there was also reports that he confessed himself. So it was the parents. The initial report was he and his youth pastor, or he approached his father. His father took him to the youth pastor. The youth pastor and the father convinced him to go and admit to having done it. So that was the initial report. I haven't seen anything that changes that. I get that there has to be evidence for them, because, again, I could go and say that I'm the one who shot Kennedy, and I'm not going to go to jail for that, right?
Why would they arrest him?
Well, if they had some other evidence, i.e. the rifle. So if you tie it together, saying that this was his grandfather's rifle, and I do admit the text messages are strange. How that was written out, I tend to believe that those text messages are the way a lot of people describe it, myself included, which is he is trying to build a narrative that protects his, I know you don't believe that he had a transgender boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it was, but that it's written to absolve that person of any guilt. That's the way that seems to make sense to me.
I'm not following. So do you believe these text messages that were released? Do you believe Tyler Robinson actually sent those text messages?
At the moment, I do, yeah.
Tell me why. It sounds like something out of the 17th century. Why would
it's
not consistent with any other text messages he's ever sent ever.
Well, okay, I understand, but I don't know about any other text messages he sent ever. I haven't seen
that
stuff
has been all of that stuff has been discussed on other channels.
Okay, I haven't seen any of that. So, barring lack of that information, it does make sense. The way it's written, people say, "Oh, it's AI. It was run through AI." A lot of people say that
very
it's
likely
written.
To be.
It could be, but so I'm not excluding anything. I'm just saying that jumping to the end state, which is what a lot of folks are doing, that's where I've taken issue. That, well, this is it. We've solved it. We've figured it out.
That's fair. I agree with you.
Yeah, and I don't like that. So I push back really hard on that. If this person is, other people have said that those text messages are written as someone who is on the spectrum. So it's a very, like a I guess you would say autistic or something in that realm, that people talk like this. This is, it's a vernacular used for, kind of the awkward folks. Could that be a reach? Maybe, but I mean, yeah, it's okay. It seems suspicious, and I admitted that on my channel. I was like, yeah, seems strange.
Jared, I'm not upset if you have not jumped all the way to where many of us, most people that I'm seeing on the internet, where most people have arrived. I'm fine with that, brother. You don't have to fully see it the way that we see it. Here's where I have an issue with a lot of, not issue isn't the word. Here's where I struggle to understand. How come you can say it's possible that the feds release text messages that were AI generated and say that it's strange, just strange? Why would they do that? Why would you release fake? Because the text messages have no timestamps. No timestamps. Why would you release fake text messages? Let's get into some deeper questions, because I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. I'm sure you've seen the Snake Eyes whole thing.
The Snake Eyes thing?
The movie? Have you heard about this?
So I've heard about it. I haven't gone into it. This is a lot of that stuff. It ends up being it's pattern recognition, and pattern recognition sometimes, I guess, can lead you to conclusions, but you can make pattern recognition about just about anything.
Okay.
You know, things lining up that a movie made back then. It's like the Lincoln and Kennedy, right? Lincoln in 1969 Lincoln in 1869, Kennedy in 1969, when they became president. The Lincoln and Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln. Like all the parallels that lined up. Oh. That is that a saying something?
Okay.
I don't know. Or is that it's a pattern recognition thing that doesn't prove anything.
Okay, so I'm just going to regurgitate something to you, and you tell me what you make of this.
Okay.
There's a 1998 film called Snake Eyes, starring Nicolas Cage, where the Secretary of Defense, whose name is Charles Kirkland, was shot in the left side of his neck in an assassination.
Okay.
It happened on September 10th at the Trump Tower.
Okay. Trump Tower was Trump was the brand that was present in just about every movie, rap video, whatever back in the 90s.
Got you. Charles Kirkland, September 10th, assassinated, shot in the left side of his neck. Charles
Kirkland, Charlie Kirk. It doesn't mean anything to me. I'll be honest. I have to be honest. What's your implication then? That this was...
Is that a joke?
No, it's not a joke. Like that honestly doesn't mean anything to me. The Secretary of Defense was Charles Kirkland. The guy who was shot here was Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk, to be clear, his real name is Charles.
I assume.
His name is Charles Kirk.
Yeah. That to me is a coincidence.
The person that was accused of shooting him name was Tyler.
Okay. Tyler's what, the fifth most common name? 10th, it's at least in the top 10 in America. I'm sorry, that doesn't do anything for it. It doesn't. My brain does not think that way. Do I believe there are coincidences? Yeah, they're absolutely coincidences.
He's trolling me.
No, I'm not trolling you at all.
He's trolling me because I'm not even saying you have to think that there's some conspiracy, but at the very least, I would believe that at the very least you would say that's crazy. You don't even give me that. You say, oh, okay, the same date, the same name, shot at the same place in the Trump Tower by a guy named Tyler.
It's not the same. The Trump Tower thing is irrelevant. Again, you'll find Trump Tower's in Home Alone. Does that mean that Macaulay Culkin is part of a cabal?
You and I on the same page with that. That's the only thing that you're talking about is the Trump Tower point.
Other than a name and a date that are separated by however many years that's been.
Hold up.
25 years.
The same name, almost down to the same name.
Not the same date.
Wait. The same date. The person accused of doing it name was Tyler. There was a.
Okay, it's not the same name, and the reason the person was Tyler. Okay, I mean that.
Hey, y'all, I'm gonna take it a step further. Man. He's gonna say there's nothing here either. The woman that was standing in front of the Secretary of Defense when he was assassinated heavily resembles Erica Kirk, but that could mean nothing. I'm with you.
Pretty and blonde, right?
Right. Okay. Same outfit as well. That means nothing. Watch this. The same actress from that film stars in a film this year called Heads of State. Would y'all like to know the role that she's playing? Someone named Elizabeth Kirk, and she's the Vice President of the United States.
If Erica Kirk ends up being the vice president of the United States,
they're already pushing her. They're already suggested it all over the place.
I will go back and say, well, people can suggest anything. After a big tragedy like this, people are going to look to do that. I will come back on your channel and say, absolutely, you were right, Didi, because this is, again, that is.
You're trolling me, bro.
I'm not trolling you. I'm saying that you can find, there are pattern people do this all the time. A lot of folks do it in. Let's see. It's what religion is it where they do it? It's secular humanism. Are they the ones that are all into the numbers and the number 13 and they say, oh, we can trace this back, and they find pattern recognition in numbers spread out through. That is a
Jared. What do you know about Freemasonry, and what do you know about the Kabbalah?
I mean, I've watched several videos on Freemasonry. The obviously part of the founding of our country and all the emblems and all that kind of stuff hidden away. And I've always wondered what Freemasonry was all about. Am I an expert in Freemasonry? No, absolutely not. But I have watched documentaries where people say, "Oh, they left their imprint and all of these things and their symbolism behind." I mean, they're pagans, is what they are. But,
what do you know about Erica Kirk?
Well, that she was wearing a Freemason ring. I heard somebody say that.
What do you know about her past, bro?
So not a ton. I've
something tells me if I tell you about her past and all of the many red flags, it won't even make an impression on you. Something tells me that.
I mean, it could. Am I gonna change my mind right now? Because there are, what's a good way to put it?
Are you?
Well, I can't even think of a good way to put it. So go ahead.
Are you a Freemason?
No.
Okay.
Am I a Freemason? No.
Do you work for the government?
I used to. So I was in the military for 20 years, 10 years active, and then the other 10 was in the reserves. But yeah, so I used to work with Freemasonry is big in the military.
I already know. I literally do this for a living, bro. I know.
Interestingly enough, among black men in the military, it's actually
I'm aware.
Huge.
What do you think the purpose of Freemasonry is? Why so many people joining it? Why so many secrets, Jared? If there's nothing there, why?
It's so a lot of people have equated it to the old Moose Lodge and that sort of thing. That's how most of them operate. Most of the organizations operate. It's not some well strung together cabal at all the way down to the lowest levels, but they have a lot of people who are loyal members. Like I say, just like the Moose Lodge and the Shriners and all that kind of stuff. So you've got these community groups that operate at that level. The influence of it is undoubtable in America, in American history. I mean, there's imagery is all over our money. It's all over our buildings and all that. Wherever they built something, they left a mark. And I think it's a fun conspiracy to follow. But do I still think that it is some massive cabal wielding power in America? I don't know. I'm willing to have my mind changed on that. But right now, I don't see it. No, I don't see it.
No, you're not, bro. No, you're not. You're not willing to have your mind changed. And I do mean that respectfully. I'm enjoying the dialogue, but you're not. Like,
I don't know if you saw LaShawn in the comments. He was trying to come back in, but I'm enjoying the conversation. So
let me, before I add him back.
Yeah.
And I still don't see his camera on. Hey, Chicago Conservative, bro, if you can turn your camera on so I can see that it's working. Hopefully, okay. I'll add you in just a sec. So I just want to make sure I understand this, Jared. Your belief is that what the feds is telling us is the truth for the most part.
No, but I would say Occam's razor says that the course of action that allows for the fewest number of assumptions is usually true. Okay. And based on Occam's razor, what they are showing us now, there are anomalies that do cast doubt, but it seems to me to make
what is
sense
your takeaway of Erica Kirk's behavior since? This is going to be so interesting to hear. I'm so interested to hear what you're about to say.
I will head this off at the pass that I know people say, oh, she didn't cry enough. She wasn't emotional enough. You walk with the Lord. I've heard you talk about it. You're a believer in Jesus Christ and the power that can give to people, understanding the difficulty of that situation. When people walk with the Lord, they have strife and struggle. And in her instance, it's going to be private because it has to be private since she's taking over that large organization. So do I think that she cried enough? Yeah, I think she cried plenty. Do I think that when she was
hold up, you saw a video of her crying? You got to show it to me. Where did she cry?
Yeah, you can see the light reflecting off of her eyes. She's obviously wearing heavy makeup at the memorial service. There, you can see it clear as day. I actually went back to look at it when people said, "Oh, she's not crying enough, not a single tear." And you can see it's off of her. It would be off of her left eye. You can see the shine of tears and all that. So I think that is being pretty hypercritical of somebody who is handling the grief. We don't know what she's like in private. That's the thing. We're saying we want outwardly you to be bawling on stage, even though you're running an organization now of 1,000 people. That's hundreds of millions of dollars that are being used to impact community or impact college campuses all across the country. I want you to cry more. That to me, when she comes on and she is well, look at her. Look, okay, here's another example. Look at her when she did the recent appearance on Charlie Kirk's show. When she was on Charlie Kirk's show, she did not look. Let's just say she didn't look as put together as she did at the memorial ceremony. Her hair was not done. She looked a little disheveled, and she's putting on a good face in front of everybody because she has to be the strong leader. That's a difficult thing to do, and she's handling it extremely well. But yeah, we don't know what she's like in private. That's the thing. I mean, tell me where I'm wrong.
Okay, bro, this y'all are trolling me, man. But
I'm not trolling you, brother. I'm not.
Jared, and I do appreciate you being here, bro, and I appreciate you for standing your ground. But I'm gonna have to just challenge you here. So you're being disingenuous because yes, there are the radicals out there saying she should be falling all over the stage. She should be beside herself. And then there's those of us that are more moderate who are saying you don't have to be over the top. You don't have to be belligerent. Everybody grieves differently. The lady is not grieving. Correction, because I want to be responsible. The lady does not appear to be grieving very much at all. Most places where she spoke on like the platforms, there's an overwhelming amount of women who've also come on this channel and other channels that are saying, I've never seen this before. She used the word excited in her video on Charlie Kirk's channel the other day, I believe 5 times. You say that you saw her crying. I'm not going to say that tears never came out. I thought when I was about to watch her tribute video, I really thought it was something there. I went to watch it with the assumption that, man, this is going to be kind of hard to watch. Like I'm watching a widow address the nation after her husband was brutally assassinated. But instead, that's not what happened at all. I watched it. I was like, I feel so guilty. Something's off here. Something's off here. The memorial. Are you kidding me? Charlie Kirk's family does not even speak at the memorial. It looked like a concert. She walks out the fireworks. Before we add the Chicago conservative back, I want to play a clip. How do you feel about Nick Fuentes? Just briefly.
Oh, can't stand him.
Can't stand him. Okay.
No.
I'm going to play this clip, and then we'll add the Chicago conservative. I'm curious to hear what you think about this. Okay. One sec. Let me do it this way. All right, let's go.
I do not believe for 1 second that they met organically. How do you think they met each other? Do you think that they bumped into each other at CPAC and
I don't think y'all can see that, can you? Can you see it now?
I can see it.
Charlie and Erica, I do not believe for 1 second that they met organically. How do you think they met each other? Do you think that they bumped into each other at CPAC and Charlie said, hey, let's go on a date? No, they were set up together by somebody. Who set them up? Charlie, I'm sure, he's super ambitious, super powerful, running this organization. They told him you need a wife. I'm sure he wants a wife. They told him you need a wife. If you want to run for office, you need a wife and kids, you need a family. They're grooming him to be super powerful. So he's hanging out at Bohemian Grove, and they say, we need to give you a wife. We know somebody. We know this girl, and she's in some, how do they know her? Who set them up, and where did this girl come from that's going to be Charlie Kirk's wife and bear his children? I think that was an arranged marriage. And that tells me that she is tapped into some kind of network in some way. I don't know how. People talk about she was a pageant girl and she ran this charity. Maybe there's a connection there. I would not be surprised at all. That, if you're talking about Erica Kirk, that I believe. People say Israel killed Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Let's look at the marriage. Erica Kirk is now taking over Turning Point. That's suspicious because what we are being led to believe is that Erica Kirk is the archetypal trad girl. Isn't that the perception they're cultivating? When you look at some of these clips, she's supposed to be the ultimate trad wife. She's speaking at the Young Women's Leadership Summit. She's on podcasts saying, oh my gosh, I can't focus because I'm so in love with Charlie. If he's here, I can't focus. I'm so smitten. Like, that's the character that she's playing. That's the character that they're selling us. Her husband gets shot in the neck graphically in front of everybody. Shouldn't Miss Wife, shouldn't she be like despondent? And I'm not trying to judge how people grieve. It's not our position to judge how they grieve or what their response is. Maybe she's just got unbelievable resolve. But if she really is the ultimate trad wife who knows her place and is a helper to her husband, a helpmate, and she's so smitten with him and she's the perfect wife, like how she's been presented to us for years, then when her husband gets shot in the neck and blood starts spurting everywhere in front of everybody who starts screaming and running away, shouldn't she be like in shock? Shouldn't she be like in a catatonic state or crying and be in a veil as a widow somewhere? But that's not what we got at all. The second he dies, she takes over Turning Point. That happened like 2 days later. She's all of a sudden the president of this $500 million organization. Super influential, now super powerful after Charlie became a martyr. And she's given speeches. She's given a speech, and the speech, I'm sorry, it's totally canned. The first speech she gave next to his empty chair, she's like doing this weird affect, wiping away tears that aren't there with this scripted speech, you know, the battle cry of this widow, the cries of this widow will echo like a... And then at the WWE Memorial, she comes out to fireworks and she does this like she's Mary in her white suit, her makeup, her hair did, and she goes out with fireworks at her husband's funeral like this. She posed. Did you see that? And then she goes up and says, yeah, I'm running Turning Point now, and this is how... It's giving me like Claire Underwood vibes. I think that was an arranged marriage, and either she was like a handler or she was... she had political ambitions of her own. But yeah, I don't know. Look, who is Erica Kirk now? This is a person that is being foisted on us. And look, don't get me wrong. You lost your husband. I am deeply sorry for you. I really am. I'm praying for you. I am deeply sorry for you. I can't imagine what you're going through. But you becoming president of Turning Point and now being foisted upon us, that's an altogether different story. You know, it's like I said on Monday, and Alex Jones didn't like this. He said it was mean. A lot of people didn't like it. You want our sympathy? You got it. You want our prayers? You got it. People would, you know, walk over broken glass for this widow who can even sympathize, who can even understand what she's going through right now. But they're asking us to accept her as like this new leader. They're foisting her on us as a political leader, and that I don't like.
For those of you who don't know, as a reminder, for those of you who don't know, Erica Kirk majored in college in, I believe, political science and international affairs. That is usually what a person is doing when they want a career in politics. Erica Kirk's background, for those of you who don't know, Erica Kirk's father worked in Israel on the Iron Dome. Erica Kirk, when her entire life, never did any pageants, any modeling. And then all of a sudden, one day in the mail, she received some sort of invitation. Her first or second year participating in pageants, she wins Miss Arizona 2012. She started a ministry when she was 17 years old in Romania. The same ministry that was accused, yes, they could be lying, not saying that this is necessarily true.
Then why put it out?
Because it happened. If someone was majorly accused of something, we should at least mention it, right? I'm doing my due diligence by saying I'm not saying that it's true.
I hate to interrupt, but I do want to say that just like with Nick, that's what Nick Fuentes is known for doing, which is I think it's an arranged marriage. I think that all this happened, and Vashon is texting me. He's saying, "Tell him to put me back in." He's saying, "Oh, it's an arranged marriage. I think this, I think that, I think this, and I think that." None of which is founded on any evidence, and yet when people hear it, they talk about it as if it's the case.
What do you call them? Evidence.
So wait a minute. Wait.
Hold on. Just real quick, bro. Hold on. What do you call evidence?
Proof. I mean, what evidence?
Exactly.
Is
Right.
Evidence.
So wait. Are you implying? So wait. Let me ask Didi this. Yeah. Are you implying? Well, first, let me ask you a question before I ask this question. Who do you think is responsible for this? Like, is your animosity towards the Jews or towards Erica or both, or like what? Where's this like going towards?
I'll answer that question, but we're at a completely different place at this point in the conversation. But to answer your question,
okay. So let's
do you want the answer or not, bro? I'm answering the question for you, man.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
To answer your question, I'm not directly accusing anyone. What I'm saying is the information that's been given to us, there are major red flags, and I have major questions. When I do my background on these individuals, it's extremely suspicious.
So who are you questioning, though? Are you questioning Israel, Erica, America? Like, who are you questioning? You say you have questions, but who are the
everybody involved? Everybody involved.
Which is who? Turning Point USA? Who?
I'm questioning his security team. I'm questioning the information that the feds have put out. I'm definitely questioning Erica Kirk. Not saying that Erica Kirk had something to do with this assassination. I'm saying when I look into Erica Kirk's history, there are major red flags. She is directly tied to Donald Trump. Charlie Kirk's family was directly tied to Donald Trump outside of both of them.
So are you implying that Erica never loved Charlie? Are you implying that this marriage was just made up? Like, because
I don't know how she felt. I do believe that it was an arranged marriage.
But that's why this rhetoric is dangerous, bro. That's what I'm saying. People are going to run with that rhetoric saying, oh, Erica never loved Charlie. She was just using him for Israel and Jew money and whatever the hell. And my thing is this. If she was good enough to just do a Turning Point USA or whatever the hell by herself, why didn't she do it? Why did she need Charlie Kirk to do that? And let's be honest. Okay, granted, they did meet in Israel. Okay, granted, she has done stuff with Donald Trump. But my thing is this: that stuff is just coincidental. That stuff doesn't mean that stuff doesn't prove anything, though.
Didi, I have to ask you this. There was this was years ago. I think it was during. I believe it was during Donald Trump's first presidency, and the spokesperson, so the press secretary for, I think it was maybe the Department of Navy, Department of Defense. He shows up to do a press conference, and he says, "All right, I'm sorry, I apologize for being late. My wife and one of my daughters was just killed in a car accident. I've got another daughter; she's in intensive care. I just ask for your thoughts and prayers." Okay, first question, and everybody's like, "Well, what in the world?" And he said, "No, we have a job to do here." And he said, I'm taking care of my family. My family's being taken care of right now. I will deal with this later, but it's time for us to get to work. We have some important things to talk about.
Yep.
People could make the same argument about him that they're making about Erica Kirk, that you could go back and find in that guy's history that, you know, he had a grandpappy who was part of the Freemasons or whatever, and he handled this in too solemn of a way. And it just doesn't make sense. Erica Kirk has a monster responsibility of 1,000 employees, hundreds of millions of dollars in money that's being pushed out to college and universities.
So no.
You have to. Great point. This is part of leadership. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just because Jared makes a great point here, and Didi, you kind of going off the rails with this, bro. So if Erica Kirk wasn't supposed to replace Charlie, who was? Ben Shapiro? Fucking Michael Knowles? Fucking Matt Walsh? You want an actual Jew to replace Charlie Kirk? You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of people thought Ben Shapiro was going to do it.
Bro, who's making that argument, bro? Nobody's making that
argument. That's the thing. Oh, so where's the
Why are you only naming Daily Wire people?
Because that was the conspiracy, though. If you guys are mad that that Erica Kirk is the new founder of Turning Point USA or the new leader of Turning Point USA, I mean, what's wrong with Erica Kirk being the leader? If it's a problem with her being the leader,
Deshaun,
who's supposed to be the leader then?
Bro, it seems to me that you seem a bit confused here because you're
not really. Can I
get it out, man?
You gaslighting, bro. And we gotta stop with that shit, bro. You gotta stop doing that shit. You definitely
can I get it out? Can I respond, bro?
No. You making it seem like that Erica never loved Charlie and that she basically used this man just to take over Turning Point USA. They're saying, oh, Erica's a Mossad agent. Like, come on, bro. Let's be honest, bro. That is just going a little bit off the rails. Where's your proof of this? Because that's what people are going to speculate. That
this is what I'm saying. You're very confused, bro. I haven't made that argument.
Not really, bro. Because so what are you talking about Erica? Why is Erica being brought up?
I never said she's a Mossad agent. Why did you just say that?
That's what people are speculating. Okay,
I'm not people, bro. I'm Demetrius. I never said that.
So why are you bringing up Erica then?
Because her background is very suspicious. Her behavior has been very suspicious.
Okay, and what's suspicious about her? What, grieving for her husband? She's not.
I made a whole video about it.
She's not crying enough for you. That's suspicious.
If you want to make linkages between her winning,
you do realize the ones that cry and boo-hoo and do all that dumb shit at your funeral, those are the ones that actually are suspicious, right? You do realize that, right? The ones
bro,
that, oh baby, I love him so much.
How come at Charlie Kirk's memorial,
a
single one of his family members or friends got to? Well, I should say friends, but not a single one of his family members spoke.
Okay, so you don't believe in privacy? You don't believe in people that just don't?
It's the funeral. It's the funeral.
It was the memorial service, not the funeral.
Memorial.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Okay, so okay, go ahead.
That was the event for the people. That the millions, tens of millions of people. Well, as we saw, hundreds of millions that watched it. That wasn't for the family. The family grieved. The family had their the burial ceremony of Charlie as a family. That's not the public affair. The public affair was the memorial ceremony, and the memorial ceremony that was put on by TPUSA. The expectation is to hear from the widow, not from the father and all those people. That was celebrating the movement that Charlie had created. So I just don't think we should conflate the two. Fair enough.
I appreciate that distinction. I do want to ask a question. Early in the conversation, Jared, before we added you to the stage, Deshaun and I was speaking about the rhetoric and the narrative that's been placed out about the whole Charlie Kirk incident. I'm curious, when you hear these other theories of things that people notice in the crowd and the direction and all the gun experts that have come out and went viral for their videos saying why the narrative that's been put out does not make any sense. What are your thoughts about all those theories?
It definitely gives you reason to question things.
Reason to question.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? You want me to come out? You want me to come out and say that there's some wild cabal out here that took out Charlie Kirk, and this is because this was the way this reported to us. And look, this is also not the telephone game, but it's first reports. This used to be the case in the military. When something would happen and you get a report, you get a BDA, a battle damage assessment. That battle damage assessment, 99% of the time was wrong, but you're trying to give some information that people can go along, and it develops as the intelligence is collected, as the information is received. We're still in that phase, and yet people are jumping straight to conspiracy versus saying, hey, by the way, in the 30-06, you talked about the 30-06, that came from one text message from someone. That wasn't even part of an official report. They said we have the rifle. The feds haven't actually clarified that it was a 30-06. This was came from a message from. That's a good question. I don't know. But it's also, do you just start releasing information, or do you release the accurate information? Kash Patel sent out a tweet, an X, and he said that we are looking at all other options to include the ones that are being passed around on the internet of second shooters, other people involved. He posted this on his X account. You can go and watch and read it. So this has to be meticulous for several reasons. One, for general public concern, the same things that the three of us are concerned about, right? That's important because the feds aren't just going to start throwing out data and saying, well, here's what we've got. You guys run with it. They're building an actual investigation that can also lead to prosecutions, because all that has to be handled properly if it's going to make its way into the court system. Anything that they bungle could lead in other accomplices, which I believe there were accomplices. And I'm not saying other shooters, but I'm saying that other people, like in the online stuff from the Washington Free Beacon, they released all the online text, or not text, but the social media posts and Discord, all that stuff, all the Discords and all that. Do I believe that other people knew? Well, an awful lot of people in those in that realm were talking about it before it actually happened. So yeah, I believe there were other accomplices. And will those things ultimately lead to what we've heard for the most part is correct? I don't think we have all the data. We obviously don't have all the data, but we are going with the story that they have told us so far, because Occam's razor says, I am, because Occam's razor says there are fewer assumptions in that, and there's a lot of assumptions in all the other stuff.
So within the text messages, there was supposedly this conversation Tyler Robinson was having with his quote unquote lover. He stated that he was sitting nearby, waiting for a great time to go and pick this rifle up. The same rifle that he supposedly was walking with in his clothes, even though that's been debunked. It's impossible to have that rifle in your clothes. Many gun experts have come out and shown the size of the rifle. And we never see anybody shoot from the roof. We see a person running from the roof. But that, all of that aside, within these text messages that the feds released, Tyler Robinson is allegedly having a conversation where he's telling his lover, hey, I'm sitting somewhere nearby waiting for the perfect time when things clear out because there's madness everywhere so that I can go back into the woods and retrieve this rifle that I reassembled in record timing. That's been debunked. That's not even possible.
I agree.
Because,
it's to add to Diddy's point.
Hold on. That's not even possible because a photo has now surfaced of him being in the restaurant 15 minutes away at 6:38 p.m. So therefore, if he really sent those text messages, it contradicts.
And I just want to add to Diddy's point. The text messages are a little suspect because they are.
There are a lot of suspect. But they're not alone.
I'm agreeing with you, partner. Hold on. And my thing is this: when they're using keywords like squad car, I mean, no one really uses words like I see the squad car over there or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I do have to give Diddy that. I would say like a police car or just 12 or something like that. Like a normal person isn't gonna say squad car. So I would give him that, but that's just isn't enough proof. But then, like I said, I'm not. And look, if you read and listen to my clip, I never said that, that Israel didn't have anything to do with it. But my thing is, we need proof. We can't just say someone did it without having unsustainable proof. You see what I'm saying? So
this is what I hope I didn't offend you earlier, bro. I wasn't. When I'm saying you're confused, it's because, like you just said, we can't say Israel did it.
No, I am.
I haven't mentioned Israel. I haven't mentioned Israel, bro.
I admit to me not knowing the full context of what's going on when it comes to, because new stuff is coming out every single day when it comes to this Charlie Kirk stuff. So yes,
and all of the new stuff contradicts what the Fed is telling us.
That's why I can admit that I'm confused when it comes to the case, because I don't want to not believe Cash Patel and them. But my thing is this: I can't not believe my eyes. You feel what I'm saying? Like when it comes to the footage at him being at Baskin Robbins, how the hell do we got this guy at Baskin Robbins right after he supposedly shot the guy, right? And he's just basically being normal and just shopping and getting ice cream and stuff like that. So it's not like I'm blind and bliss to the situation. I understand. All the stuff I know, okay? But my thing is this: okay, is this enough? Is this enough to say that, oh, this was someone else involved? Or
it's enough for him to get off free. All you need is reasonable doubt.
No. I understand.
There's overwhelming evidence that this guy that suggests that this guy did not do it.
Right.
Overwhelming. I do want to ask you, because I asked the son this. I want to ask you this question, Jared. What do you think about the fact that they paved over the area where everything happened? They completely destroyed it immediately afterwards. Why would they do that?
I had issues initially with there was no police presence. Basically, when
no
Frank
autopsy, no police, no ambulance.
When Frank Turek was leaving, he said they passed the ambulance. You know who Frank Turek is? So
it sounds familiar.
He's the guy.
That's one of his mentor. His mentor,
the guy in the white hat who everybody said was in on it. He's a Christian apologist. He said they were passing the ambulance when they were coming in. I thought it was, strange, but not just strange. I thought it was, well, yeah. I mean, it was just strange. There was no ambulance there. And this is a question that I openly asked. Look,
that's it.
But that's what I'm saying, though. See, here's when it comes to your low IQ people that's watching this, that's in the comments right here, bro. Nobody's flip-flopping, okay? I never said, and I never just pointed out that, oh, Israel didn't do it. Or, look, I'm not saying that the conspiracy theories don't lead to facts, okay? But my thing is this. We don't want to go off the rails. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying, like, certain conspiracy theories, like, can't be validated. But my thing is when it comes to the overboard stuff like Erica Kirk being a Mossad agent and things like that, like that stuff just tends to just, that's just going a little overboard, bro.
Okay.
But my thing is this. Look, but just let me finish this. My thing is this. Do I think Erica Kirk has something to do with her husband's death? I mean, let's be honest. You saying that you're not saying that, but the conspiracies that I'm getting, and Jared, maybe you can agree with me, but that's how it's coming off. It's coming off how, oh, it's, Erica maybe had a arranged marriage and that this was all planned from the beginning. And, that this movie that you kind of brought was, honestly, bro, I'm going to be honest with you. That's you might want to, maybe that's a conversation off the.
No, it's a conversation for now. Speak your mind. What you got?
Well, my thing is this, bro. You got to realize that you do know that's a movie, right? You do know that's a movie, right? So that's fictional.
Chad, are they trolling me? Bro, they trolling me.
And you keep saying, are we trolling? Like, no, dude, we're not. It's a movie. That means that is a fictional. That's fictional, dude. Now listen, it might be strange.
It's called predictive programming. It's predictive programming. It's verifiable information that the CIA practices.
Who do we blame for the death of Charlie Kirk? The movie? Do we blame the movie for the death of Charlie Kirk? I mean, what are you bringing the movie up for then? I mean, these are your speculations. Why are you looking like that? You brought it up.
Can I interject something here real quick? Here, and I think this is what Vashawn is saying, is that when when you say I'm gonna pause
you just real fast, brother. I'm sorry.
Man.
Hey, Chad, please be respectful. I told you we are not tolerating any disrespect. We are not going to do that.
You got a lot of low.
We are not going to do that. A lot of these people, y'all know how I work. Y'all do this for a living too. Everybody in this chat is not necessarily subscribers of mine. We are not disrespecting anybody over here at all. We are not doing that. We are here because we all want the truth. We're just trying to find it. Please be respectful. I will have my moderator start blocking people, and I've never had to do that before. Please respect both of these men. My apologies, Jared. Continue.
No, that's okay. It's when it gets put out that I'm not saying that this is the case, but people take that as, ooh, that's coincidence. I'm going to run with that as fact. And that's,
what should people do instead if they've noticed things that don't make sense? What should they do? Like not say it at all, or what?
No, I say, well, sometimes I think it's for us. For us, it is this. You can, this is the power that these microphones have is really, really, it's monstrous, bigger now than it's ever been in the history of America, because we can all come on with a camera and a laptop and make videos and put stuff out there. And I've seen some of your content, and I know you do a lot of your due diligence. So kudos to you for that. But when it starts to get into this really deep stuff, when like the implication is that a coincidence from Erica Kirk being in a beauty pageant and knowing Donald Trump because Donald Trump ran all the beauty pageants, that's not connecting. That's connecting dots that, in my opinion, aren't there. You say that her dad was in the Defense Department or did something with the Defense Department, specifically with the Israel's Iron Dome. Isn't that what you said? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you realize that in the back end of our federal government, this is part of it. Like people meet when you get into politics. I have known several guys, several of my buddies, like from the military. This was what they did. They were advisors. They were other positions with people in the Pentagon and all that. And the circles really start closing in around those people. And it's just part of the community that you find yourself in. Is it strange that the daughter of a guy who was working for the DOD or whatever he did with the DOD would come in contact with a political commentator? No, that's in fact, that's it. That we used to say it's a small world and an even smaller army, because obviously that's a statement of fact, but you get in these cliques and these groups. That to me does not seem
fair.
wild and crazy.
That's actually fair. That's a fair point. Would you also say that it's also a coincidence? And all I'm saying is, if you notice patterns, speak about them. That's my thing. Charlie Kirk's dad also worked closely within the Trump Tower. Did you know that? Well, before Charlie Kirk became and stepped into the political space. So all I'm saying is, both of these people have connections to Trump outside of just themselves. You see what I'm saying? Like they're family.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that doesn't happen all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you delve into like, I did a video on a music video that Erica Kirk did 13 years ago. We don't have to discuss it. All the coincidences that don't mean anything from this movie Snake Eyes. Then when you delve into our music video, it's mind-blowing. Because once again, in that movie, we don't have to get into it. It's mind-blowing. It's almost like laughable. It's like they're putting stuff in our face. All I would say is we can all acknowledge that the CIA is real. MK Ultra is real. These are not conspiracy theories. These are not loony the stuff only loony people talk about. This is verifiable information.
I agree.
MK Ultra is a real thing. Predictive programming has been practiced since I believe at least the 60s. It's real. So if we can acknowledge that it's real, why would we live out the realm of possibility that they will be practicing this in politics? Why wouldn't they? They do it in Hollywood.
My beef is with. Sorry, I'll say one thing, Vashon, then I'll shut up and let you go. But I believe, yes, I 100% believe in predictive programming. I know that MK Ultra is a thing. I got you totally. But because those things exist, it's because I consume so much. We all do. We have to because of what we're trying to do here on the internet. Right. We consume so much content. The prevalence of that stuff becomes the justification for anything and everything. And I know that Sean has brought up Israel several times, and that's something that a lot of people take like everything. That's my thing, and that we run with it, and that's it, right? And that frustrates me. There's the MK Ultra people who say, "Oh, it's MK Ultra. Oh, it's MK Ultra." Yeah. Predictive and all of these are things, right? The Mossad's influence, the CIA's influence, predictive programming, MK Ultra. All of these are things, but it's become so saturated with people putting everything in those buckets that's why I step back for something like this. I'm like, it's been 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a very short period of time. And we're talking about a massive organization like the FBI that is slow and bureaucratic and painful, oftentimes not good at what they do. And we're relying on them for information. And I think that some of the stuff is muddying the waters for internet sleuths. Didi, I believe that you are really trying to get to the answers. Like I firmly believe that. But some of the stuff is muddying the waters for that internet sleuthing. And that's what frustrates me more than anything, because good work can be done on the internet. The three of us can get a whole lot done, but we've muddied the water with so much stuff that now everybody's getting confused. Everybody's looking for the first thing they can jump on, and everybody being the folks that are listening to us with whatever we run with. So I just think it's a responsibility thing. And I get it. I don't mean that as a dig against you or anything like that, but
I didn't take it. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let Sean go. I didn't take it as a dig. I'm open to criticism or critique. I wouldn't have a platform if I wasn't. I get it. Everyone won't think the same. The last thing I'll say before I pass it over to my friend here is that it's very odd to me that we can notice coincidence after coincidence and we don't ever talk about it. Patterns after patterns. We don't talk about it because we don't want to be called a conspiracy theorist, or we don't want to go off on the deep end. Who gets to decide what the deep end is? If there is something that does not make sense, I'm investigating it. I don't care what people think about that. Erica Kirk's behavior, in my opinion, I'm not saying she should have been falling over and belligerent and she should grieve the way everyone else grieves. It's been very odd. It's been very unusual. It's been very distasteful to a lot of people. And I've tried to make sense of it. I was hoping that wasn't my experience watching. That's what it was. And then when I delve into her background, it gets even creepier. Go ahead, bro.
So I just want to clarify a few things before I make my statement. So I just want to point this out, guys, that the only thing that I was really just trying to make in my clip there was that I don't want us to not use facts, because that's tend to what the left do. Now, I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Didi, because I know you see, you got the clips and things like that. So I'm pretty sure that you're investigating this pretty well. But my thing is, a lot of people don't think critically like me, you, and Jared. Like, and I hate to say it, but some of these people in the comments like that you have here, they're just saying, oh, if you don't agree with this, then you're dumb and you're flip-flopping. So here's the thing. I honestly never even said that Tyler Robinson was just solely responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. I never said that Erica Kirk wasn't acting suspicious. But my thing is this.
Do you believe she was? Or is?
Look, and that's what I'm saying. You never even asked me that.
I'm asking you now.
And my answer is actually yes. If I'm being honest with you, I'm not thinking about running no fucking Turning Point USA if my husband or wife just got killed. And that's just me. That's me personally. I don't really care what nobody think about it. But that's my thing. Like, nobody's not even really letting me talk or even really like letting me say my statement. So, and my thing is this. we can say that she's acting suspicious, but is it proof? That's my only thing. Okay, now I agree. Is it suspicious? Do I agree that when it comes to the pipelines, and because I did not know that it was a pipeline right there, but the thing is, when I thoroughly investigated that myself, and the pipeline is curving down. So if they were going to use that pipeline, they would have to, modify that in some sort, and that would have to be before the event at the college that day in Utah. So my thing is this: could it be a thing? Yes, but my thing is this, ladies and gentlemen. Even if it was a radical left job, the ideology and the way they think, it always is every single time. It always go back to, like Didi say, them boys. Because if we think about the trans shooters, we like forget Charlie Kirk for a second.
Jared, he sounded like the people you was just criticizing, bro. But
no. Jared already know how I feel about this. But my thing is, the only thing that I feel like your people here are watching kind of are not understanding is that I don't want us to go crazy. Like,
who defines what's crazy though? When you video about Candace, you said that Candace. Fair enough. But I do want you to clarify something so people can understand this. In your clip about Candace Owens, bro, out of your own mouth, you said this is the thing about Candace. You feel like she's going off on the deep end, but you just said yourself it was a legitimate case to make. Which is it, bro?
But what are we referring to though?
The pipe, the valve.
Right. No. I didn't say that when it comes to the pipe. I was talking about when it came to she said another statement that I kind of disagree with, but the pipeline, that was suspicious. But it was something else that she said that I was I don't think that was necessarily the what I was referring to. Okay. But what I was saying is that okay, we have all of these conspiracies, but then people are going to speculate their own conclusions, though, Didi.
That's what you should do. That's what
no, that's really not, because if you become judge, jury, and executioner, then you're going to take it upon yourself, just like how quote unquote Tyler Robinson or whoever did it did. You see what I'm saying? So if you feel like, oh, this person did this because this person said it, now I'm going to take it into my own hands.
I'm not talking about blind faith. I'm saying if there's enough quote unquote reasons to believe that something is not what you're being told, it makes sense if a person chooses to come to their own conclusion that is the contrary of what we're being told by the feds. Okay, you should always do that. The feds have been lying to us since their inception.
And I agree with that.
I agree with that as well.
What's the confusion here?
But here's the thing, and like I said, we will never know. I said this earlier in the video. We will never ever know who's telling the truth. And that's what I'm saying. Can you really trust anybody? You see what I'm saying? And that's really what I was getting at in the beginning of the video. Like, nobody can say that Candace Owens is 100% credible. No one can say that the FBI is 100% credible. But my thing is this: if I were to choose who were to be more credible when it comes to actually getting DNA and, stuff like that. I mean, let's be honest, bro. Okay, let's say you got to solve a murder, right? And you need blood samples, you need actual proof and data to prove to get this guy locked up. Are you going to Candace Owens or are you going to go to the FBI?
Brother, that's a false equivalence, bro. We're not saying that. What we're talking about is what is it? Not getting evidence, which, by the way, we still don't have an autopsy, which is very odd. No police.
That is odd.
No ambulance. No blood. It's very odd. So what I'm telling you is, people
let me say this last thing.
Other folks, what the feds has told us, what Candace Owens has been telling us, and we're just using her, but replace Candace Owens with any other content creator. The point that it still holds. What the feds has told us, what a content creator has told us. If more lies has been already proven from one side, and this person has said more things that has turned out to be true, why in the world will we go with the feds?
So here's my beef. Can I add something onto that? So you're talking about using Candace as a solid source, and
yeah, I see you a real big Candace fan, man.
Here's the thing: Candace she's been. Well, okay, let's take the photo first. So the photo that she provided that did not have a timestamp, right? We're taking her at her word as to when that photo was taken. I've researched this to the nth degree. There's no timestamp on that photo. So she said, my source said this is when that photo was taken. Then with her text message, she said, well, I see, I'm still texting Charlie. We're still friends. And it was a small snippet talking about Lachinsky, and I forget the girl's name, that were the two Jewish people that were, somewhat related to Israel. However, one of them was a Jew, the other was a German person who was working for Israel. It's something like that. They were killed outside of that building, and it was a basic tweet about, or one of his posts, one of Charlie's posts. He sent it to her, referencing that specific situation, and then it was prayer hands, short message. She didn't see any. She just said, "Look, we're still talking." Charlie's not the kind of guy, first off, that's just going to cut people out of his life. That's not the reputation that he had. So he sent her something, and she didn't show us any of the other text messages. We don't know when the last time they spoke. We don't know what the conversation was even like. Were they at each other's throats? It was a small snippet of information.
So you saying it's possible that they weren't friends?
Well, I don't know that it's friends versus, I'm sure they were still work colleagues, because she was doing Turning Point USA events last year.
What I mean is friends. You saying it's possible that they weren't friends?
I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, so I can't speculate on that one. But
if you don't mind pausing for just a sec.
Okay.
Just a sec.
There were some other texts that were shown from other people that were talking about,
before he lost his life.
I'm still.
And here is Charlie in his own words about how he was feeling.
How was your relationship with Candace Owens nowadays?
She's a great friend. Look, I don't agree with everything Candace says, but you know what I don't do? I don't stop being friends with people just because people morally blackmail me. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either. I have different views on things as Candace. I have different views on Israel than Candace. I have different views on a lot of geopolitics. But honestly, I traveled the country with Candace. I went to her wedding. I saw her meet her husband. I went to Israel with Candace, which is a fun story I'll tell you at some point. But what I don't like is when people demand, you must stop being friends with somebody. Whoa. That's a left-wing tactic. Don't do that. I'm not saying you do that, but other people do that. We should never resort to that. In fact, if you believe what I believe, shouldn't you want me to be friends with people that don't agree with us? Shouldn't you want me to also be a tool of influence? And so I think the world of Candace. She's a great mother. She certainly has very, very fun opinions at times, and she's a great talent. She says a lot of stuff that sometimes I don't agree with, but that's what makes our relationship and our friendship interesting. My advice to all of you might not like somebody, but never tell somebody like me to stop being friends with somebody on an interpersonal level just because of disagreement. It's bad. It's what the left does, and we should rise above it as conservatives. Thank you so much.
So, that proves my point.
That's what I was saying. So
what point?
I said I don't know where they stand. I just said we don't know the nature of the conversation they were having. That's also Charlie Kirk in front of, presumably thousands and thousands of people, and got seen by billions of people on TikTok and all that. So I didn't get to finish my point before you played that video. So she gives snippets and then goes on to basically make large number of assumptions. She says, I've got inside, she always says she's got the inside baseball on what's going on at TPUSA and all that. Meanwhile, she is yelling at the feds and everybody else to give us show us the receipts. And what she doesn't do is show us her receipts. So I don't know if that's because she's keeping it behind a paywall or what, but where are all these text messages from people at TPUSA that are saying that that Charlie was betrayed by TPUSA? She doesn't show those receipts. She says it, and people take it as gospel, but she hasn't given any proof of that.
So wait. So what I will say is I 100% agree that you should not fully trust and take anyone's word as 100% gospel. As a clarification on my position when it comes to Candace Owens, is I am skeptical of anyone, including Candace Owens. But if you're saying something, and if it holds to be credible, or if you give good content and you prove what you're saying, I'm with you. If you question things, I'm with you. If you don't lead people to the slaughterhouse, so to speak, I'm with you. But I just want to make sure that we're clear here. I don't take everything Candace Owens says as gospel. I like a lot of her content. I agree with a lot of her positions. But this is what I want to clarify. Candace Owens has shown a lot of quote unquote evidence to back up her claims, specifically when it comes to this Turning Point USA. And yes, some things she has not. when she says, I have this source. She has not, quote unquote, proven that there is a source with every single thing that she has said. I agree. Some of it she has, including the financial status of Turning Point USA. She showed what someone sent to her from Turning Point USA, which was I guess an email that was sent out talking about some changes that they were going to be making. That is showing proof. That is an example. Now,
So
the text message that was shared, you're right. She only shared a snippet. That's fair. You're not going to get any pushback to me, but that's something. Let's not pretend like it's nothing. It's something. Yes, there could be something or other text messages that could paint a more complete narrative. I'm with you on that. But you're pretending and being disingenuous as if she's going on her podcast and just railing about a bunch of stuff and never providing proof. That's just not true.
No, I'm not saying never. She provides this has been, and again, I don't watch her stuff all the time.
I believe you. I can tell. Respectfully,
yeah,
I can tell.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. I find it kind of insufferable. I'll be perfectly honest. So it's once you hear it enough, but the big claims. This is kind of where I go. Is the big claims that she makes, like the underground Polish communist bee cult thing. She makes these big claims. Those make their way around the internet. And then you can go back and comb through to see if she's ever provided any proof of this, that, or the other. And with the big claims, again, it's like snippets of information and you just take my word for it. And I don't work that way. You're not going to get my trust in any way by doing that. That's why I respect, at least when you're doing stuff, Dee, you're saying, here's what I found. I found this linkage, that linkage, this linkage, that linkage, and you've got a video or you've got a piece of paper to back it up. She doesn't do that all the time because she doesn't have to. She has people that, like you say, don't take everybody's word at face value. Millions of people do, and she leverages that, I think.
Candace, I'll shut up and I'll let you go to Sean. I'll just say this. Candace is not a saint. We've talked about her many times on the channel. I believe that she could be controlled opposition, but that's a different conversation, a different type of conversation. But I will say this. I think there's a chance. But I'll say this. What you just said, in my opinion, respectfully, is a almost complete misrepresentation of Candace Owens' show. One thing you give credit where it's due, the woman shows the receipts quite often on her show. Give credit where it's due. I will do that. When I don't agree with her, I'll do that too. It's called nuance. The woman gives receipts all the time. Similar to what I do on my show, she's one of the inspirations when it comes to the evidence. So it's very interesting that we fall on different ends of the spectrums when it comes here, because that's not my view of Candace.
Yeah, it's mine.
So I want to ask Dee something, right? So the speculation of Tyler Robinson is that he was a trans and that he had a trans lover, and basically they didn't agree with the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk spewed. And, basically, ultimately, that's what killed Charlie Kirk. So My thing is this. I think we are directing our energy and our attention to the wrong thing. Because, and maybe Jared could disagree with what I'm about to say right now, but all of this communist rhetoric, all of this LGBT, all of the, Antifa and all of this stuff, like all of this stuff originally comes from them boys. You see what I'm saying? So shouldn't we actually be blaming the rhetoric that they have basically pushed on Americans for quite some time now, even within the Black community, because they do it in the Black community all the time. And you don't see your comment section, getting mad about, Pookie and Ray Ray bragging about killing each other, just like how the left did with Charlie Kirk. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is not only that it's the rhetoric that falls from them people, well, them boys, I should say, but it's also the effect that it leaves behind, if that makes sense. So shouldn't we actually be blaming the rhetoric, or shouldn't that attention be at least put onto that at least a little bit?
Like, I'm just being honest.
I'm
not sure I understand the question. I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
So here's the thing, bro. The shooter, Tyler Robinson, right?
The alleged shooter.
Well, okay, the alleged shooter. he was influenced by his alleged trans lover, and the trans lover allegedly did not like Charlie Kirk and his rhetoric when it comes to, what he said. Everybody know Charlie Kirk's views. So basically, the Tyler Robinson guy, the quote unquote shooter, basically thought that he was doing the trans lover an honor by shooting Charlie Kirk in the neck, killing him, because he felt like that would make him/her happy that he did that, right? Now, when it comes to the LGBT rhetoric within itself, first of all, have you guys ever seen Tel Aviv? Have you guys ever seen like Tel Aviv? Like, it's really gay. Okay, so they accept the LGBT a lot. Okay.
Okay. So your question to me is: do we need to? Should we be blaming the narrative that's being pushed on us?
The boys for the rhetoric that they put on when as far as pushing the LGBT rhetoric on America.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a different conversation, but no, I'm with you on that. I'm fully with you on that.
But that's the thing, though. But look, that's the thing.
But I don't believe that Tyler Robinson is the person that unalived Charlie Kirk, though, is what I'm telling you. I don't think the narrative that they told us about his lover, I think all of that is BS, bro. I don't believe it.
But here's the thing, though, right? Before Charlie Kirk died, he had an interview with Megyn Kelly,
right,
critiquing Israel, right, chat.
Yeah.
I don't know if your chat's smart enough yet, but
Bro, listen, I've asked him to be respectful.
They keep calling me low IQ, bro. Like, they keep calling me and Jared low IQ, and like, come on,
brother.
Man.
They can, but listen, if I come on your channel and we're disagreeing, they may say the same about me, brother. You know you're intelligent, man. Jared knows that he's intelligent, bro. I wouldn't have you on my platform if I didn't think that. You know what I mean, bro? Just don't even pay attention to that.
I just want some engagement on your chat. I'm just trolling. I just want some engagement on your chat. That's all. But let's just be honest here, though, right? When it comes down to it, shouldn't we actually be putting our energy into that? You see what I'm saying?
I think we need to be figuring out what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Right.
That's important.
Okay.
And I don't think what they told us is the truth. I don't even think it's remotely true. I think Tyler Robinson had very, very little to nothing to do with this.
But here's the thing, though. So let me repeat when it goes back to Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk's interview. And he didn't just do this with Megyn Kelly. He did this with a lot of people as well. So a lot of people were speculating after Charlie Kirk was critiquing Israel and things like that. Then I'm assume that they made their decision to clip Charlie Kirk, and then he got an offer from Israel, I believe, to give them
$150 million allegedly,
$150 million to Turning Point USA, and I believe that Benjamin Netanyahu, he offered him a trip to Israel, Tel Aviv, and he declined. So. Okay. We know all of this stuff, okay? And like I said, and look, don't get me wrong. That's why I said I'm not throwing out that Israel has something to do with this off of the table. Because in the back of my head, I'm going to always assume that it's going to lead back to them in some shape, way, or form, like the Jewish oligarchy and the Jewish lobby. They're always around, and they're always within some other lobbyists. But my thing is this. We have to see. And we have to understand the words that Charlie Kirk was saying and how he was, basically a lot of people saying that he had the awakening before he got shot. So do we also blame them boys for Charlie Kirk switching his mind up? But that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people are like all over the place. You see what I'm saying? Because that honestly was the biggest one, that he was critiquing Israel at the end. And I'm gonna assume that Bibi Netanyahu was trying to switch his, views on that by paying him out $150 million to push more pro-Israel rhetoric, and he declined that. Okay. I hope you with me, right? Because I don't want people acting like
I'm following you, bro. All of this, right? I agree, but okay. I'm trying to get to your
they saying I'm all over the place. I don't know how, but okay. But a lot of people, that was actually the number one speculation. So I don't even know where the hell Erica Kirk came from. You feel what I'm saying? Like, people saying, "Oh, now Erica Kirk is that there." I thought that it was mainly Charlie Kirk critiquing Israel, and him getting the money, him having the altercation at the Hampton Hotel, stuff like that. So that's where my head is. Now, when we get to like talking about people's wives and shit like that, me personally, I can't get behind that. You see what I'm saying?
Because I'm so confused, bro. You went from saying you don't know where Erica Kirk came from. You believe her behavior is suspicious to now you saying you're not with us
No,
even
no,
talking about it?
but here's the thing, though.
What?
We have to at least respect her being a wife, though, bro. We can get into Erica Kirk, but do we got to do it right now? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
while she just lost
Yes.
her husband?
Yes. If your behavior is suspicious right now, we talk about it right now. There's a respectful way to do it. If you're
Okay,
saying nothing but
granted,
facts
that's
about
fair.
the person,
Okay, that's fair. But let's say, okay, God forbid, are you married?
no, not yet.
Okay, let's say you're married and
If something happened to me and my wife was behaving the same way, I would want people to question her. I would want people to be suspicious of her.
But no. Here's the thing, though, bro. We're actually flip-flopping that. Let's say she dies and you're alive, right?
Okay.
And you take over your wife's business because you don't trust nobody else with it.
Right.
Are people gonna assume you murdered her just for her business and you killed her and this, that, and the third? Like,
Brother,
that's basically the logic that people are saying, not you necessarily, but some people in the chat here.
No, bro. Listen. In your said scenario, your hypothetical situation, if I have the same background as Erica Kirk, if I have the same behaviors as Erica Kirk, you need to question me. You need to encourage an investigation into me, because there's a strong chance that maybe I'm faking. Look into it. If there's nothing there, move on.
Okay, but here's the thing, though.
An accusation sans the evidence. That's it. It's like it's an accusation minus evidence, and it's you can make the linkages. I got it. You've made the linkages of her past and those sorts of things, but it's an assumption that you are saying. Again, it goes back to how people grieve, how a strong woman, I'm married to one, how they respond in difficult situations, and you're saying it's not enough for me. It's just not enough for me. It's too weird. It's too weird, and I don't look. That to me is
that's low key leftist, bro.
It's a little disrespectful. First off,
hey Jared, I just want to say real fast.
Yeah, man.
Deshaun said that's low key leftist. You want to know what's so odd about his statement? He literally agrees with me. He said her behavior is suspicious as well.
No, I didn't say that.
I'm talking about
no, not you, Jared.
Oh
no, as far as no. My thing is this: as far as not having proof, I agree with Jared on that. When it comes to the speculation and the conspiracies, yes, it is weird, which I agree with you on that.
Jared's point was that her behavior, pointing out her behavior not being enough, he doesn't agree with it. You said that's a leftist behavior.
I agree with that. No. My thing is, I agree with that. It's weird, but do I agree that she has something to do with it? No.
That's not what Jared was saying, bro. That's not his point.
Yeah, I was saying that Dee Dee's making the accusation that she didn't respond in a way that he thinks she should respond.
But that's my point exactly.
Right. And so
that's my thing. So why you think she's reacting a certain way? Because let's be honest, what are you speculating? Like she didn't care, she didn't love her husband, she was just taking over Turning Point. What's the speculation here?
Bro, you are really confusing.
I swear I'm not gaslighting, bro. It's really,
I don't think you're gaslighting.
No, I think what he's getting
that's
at.
what I'm not understanding. I can understand why
you literally
Charlie
agree
Kirk
with my
got
point.
shot. Okay, no. Listen.
Can I say something, Sean?
I can understand why people say that Charlie Kirk got shot because he was critiquing Israel within the end. But I don't understand you saying, "Oh, Erica Kirk has weird behavior," which I agree with. She does have weird behavior, but does that necessarily mean that she, has something to do or is connected with Charlie Kirk's death? And if
nobody said that, though, bro.
What are you implying then, though? So you bring that up to bring up what?
I think. Can I clarify this? Let me clarify. I see what he's saying. He's saying that
because
what's
you
the end state?
Here. Hold on, Jared. Let me say this because you looked confused when I asked you that. And my thing is, you're the one that's saying that it's suspicious, which I agree with. But you have to explain, how does this connect with Charlie Kirk's death? If you're saying that her actions is weird, okay, I agree, but I want you to explain to me, how does this connect to Charlie's death?
Jared, what you got, bro?
Yeah, what it's the end state. That's my thing. This is why I typically don't do the proactive. Here's this, here's that, here's this, here's that. Right. Where do we end up after all of this? If we want to prove that the feds lied to us, That's not difficult to do. It's really not. We have literally 100 years of history of the feds lying to us, right? But where does it all lead? And this is why I do the negative. I generally do content in the negative when it comes to conspiracy theories rather than the positive. Like, look at this. This is what people are saying. Here's how this is
why you don't believe it.
Here's where it's wrong. Here, it's like disproving. And look, full honesty. I have full honesty.
Answer that question though. What's the end goal?
Well,
I'm letting Jared finish. Hold on, Deshaun.
Right,
I'm letting Jared finish, bro, and I'm going to answer your question. I promise you.
I would love to hear that answer, bro. Go ahead.
Full honesty. I'm at a conspiracy theorist at heart, and it's a thing that I have to.
That's funny.
I know you don't believe me, but
you don't believe you, bro.
No, but listen. At times, I realize that this is weird. This is weird, but I want to approach it with a level head, not to just fire out the conspiracy. Right?
Define level head.
I want facts. I want data. I want things to,
like the things I presented to you.
What? No. Difference between, we're talking about Charlie Kirk's murder here, right? I mean, am I allowed to even say that on YouTube? I hope I didn't get you.
Too late now.
I guess it's too late now. So we're talking about the deletion of Charlie Kirk and all the things around that. The feds are the ones that the FBI is equipped to do all this. Do I think they're going to do a spectacular job? I don't know. I certainly hope that they do. And I'm not a guy. This is also a weird transformation that I'm in. I'm in a weird transformation where, with Donald Trump coming into the White House and with people like Kash Patel and Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., all these individuals being placed, they are antithetical to the system in a lot of ways, not in every way, but in a lot of ways. I'm looking for some positive change in our federal agencies, because the federal agencies are going to be there forever. And I would like us to get to a point where the people can trust them, which is why, not entirely, because we're never going to trust them entirely, but where they are, they're cleaning out some of the rot that's going on in those. In this situation, I'm hoping, and I'm very prayerful actually about this, that Kash Patel will have that sort of thing in, that he's going to reveal some of that. We'll actually get some data that we wouldn't normally get, and that it'll be handled properly. So oddly enough, as the guy who I built my whole channel because I have had zero faith and confidence in our federal government. Our founding fathers wrote our Constitution because they had zero faith in a federal government, a powerful federal government. I'm hoping that some positive change can come from that. And this is a big ticket item, an incident where some of that could be shown. And instead, we're just going straight to the
I'm pinning that because I'm going to address it. Sorry about that.
I'm like a squirrel, man. I'm like a dog. You hang something in front of me. Okay. It got distracted by the comment. But anyway, I hope I kind of rambled on that one, and I apologize for that. But you kind of get where I'm coming from. I feel like.
So where would the information have to come from when you say facts? You want facts and data. Where would it have to come from for you to be able to entertain what you call conspiracy theories? Where would it have to come from? The FBI? The CIA? Where?
Well, yeah. So this is the other piece of it. We talked about it earlier in the show, that when they give us, if everybody wants them to just unload all the evidence and all the data, right? When this investigation starts coming to a close, that's when we should start getting some of this information and data that led them to their findings. And can those things be justified? We're jumping way ahead of the gun as the people that don't have all the evidence in our possession. We've got a lot of cell phone footage. We've got a lot of speculation and weird anomalies. And I don't think this guy's got a rifle, but when you slow down and zoom in, you can see him put a rifle down and you can see him take it off the top of the roof. All that sort of stuff that we're combing through. It's just the way it is. We're not going to get.
That's what you should be doing, though. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't wait to investigate what's at hand until the end of the investigation. If something doesn't make sense, also look into it yourself. Looking into it yourself does not make you a professional. It means, hey, let me see if what they said is true. Is what the feds told us true? Why did this happen? Why is that there? That doesn't look like what they told me. You use your critical thinking skills.
Yeah, I'm not denouncing critical thinking, by the way. That's how am I saying that? This is what I'm doing when people are only I'm doing it now, oddly enough, in the negative, that people say, oh, it was a palm pistol from 1892. Well, go zoom into the video yourself and look at it. There's no barrel. There's no muzzle flash. Obviously, that's ridiculous. The guy didn't have anything getting off the roof. Look at that. Well, everybody looks at the zoomed out footage. You download it. You zoom in. You see him put something down. You see him climb off the roof with something.
No, you don't.
Something draped in it. Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
I did a whole video on
the
it,
rifle that he had is too big to put in his clothes. It's already been debunked.
I will play I can play the video if you want to show it.
I actually got that video. Oh, Jared, do you want to play it for him?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up here.
Yeah, because
I saw for that. Let me answer.
Oh yeah, I had a
question. Hold on, bro. Yeah. I'm out. You got a lot of questions. I'm trying to answer the one that you asked me. So
I know you was talking to me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's be clear about my stance. I believe that Erica Kirk's behavior has been very odd, has been very suspicious, has been very unusual.
By your standard.
By my standard. I'm not saying she should be over the top, any of that. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Fine. For those of you that say other people grieve how they want, fine. Got it.
Okay, so
wait, hold up, bro. Hold up. I am not stating that because her behavior is suspicious, therefore she has something to do with Charlie Kirk. What I'm saying is, it's odd behavior. Let me look into her background. I'm curious about who this person is, because when I think about it, we don't actually know her. We don't know anything about this person. You literally said that you agree with everything I just said.
I said I agree that it's strange. I didn't say that I agree.
Everything I just said you agree with, correct?
I agree that she's acting strange, yes.
Was there anything I just said that you disagree with?
No, but you need proof.
Thank you.
For that, though. But you
I need proof for what? I need proof for what?
Proof. Okay, look, me and you can
hold on, wait, no, bro, you're deflecting. What do I need proof for?
Stop. I think this is what you're not understanding.
What do I need proof for, man? I need you to answer the question. You said I need proof for what?
But here's the thing, though. We can both agree on something, Didi, and we both still need to prove it.
Dude, I'm going to ask you for the 8th time. Prove what? We need to prove what? What did I just say that I need to prove?
It's whatever you're speculating. Okay, that she's acting weird.
I didn't speculate anything, dude. What did I speculate?
Is acting weird, which I agree with.
Okay.
But you say that to say what exactly? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the
I just explained it.
Weird.
I just explained it. You said, but I need to prove it. I'm asking you, I need to prove what? What did I just say that needs to be proved?
Okay, you're saying that, and I agree with Erica is acting weird. Okay,
you said that already. What do I need to prove?
You're leading to something as far as let me get into her background. Let me get into this and that about Erica.
What did I just say that I need to prove, bro? Just answer that question.
Okay. First of all, I don't necessarily say you probably have to prove anything, but you digging into Erica Kirk because she's acting strange. Okay. I mean, I don't necessarily see how you are the judge of someone acting strange as far as someone just losing a husband. You see what I'm saying?
No,
now, granted, so you think she's acting strange. Jared think that she's not acting strange. So who's more right?
Dude, what are you talking about right now, bro?
Yeah, that's a valid question.
Oh my God, bro.
This is why it's subjective. It's not evidence of anything.
Man. Hey, Jared, the question he just asked is a valid question. That's not even what we're talking about right now. He said I need to prove something.
So why bring up Erica Kirk in the first place, bro? That's what I'm saying. Why bring her up?
Bro, what in the world is going on? Okay. This is actually
losing track of your own conversation, bro. Like we're talking about Erica Kirk right now. My thing
we've been on here for almost 2 hours. I guess the last thing
you me show this video?
Yeah, absolutely.
Here, let me pull it.
I'd love to see it.
So you said that Erica Kirk is acting strange. I agreed.
So let's see. Let me see if I can line it up in my frame here.
You might have to give them full screen too.
Well, okay. So, sorry, it's branded with my stuff. I apologize, Didi.
Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can give you full screen. How do I do that? Y'all know I'm new to this.
Just click on his box, I believe just expand it.
Yeah, you should be able to see it from there. I mean, I know it's going to be small for other folks.
Okay.
But okay, so this is him. This is the first piece of it. Let me see if I can do this. Scrub it.
Oh my God, bro. Your chat is so retarded.
Right here. So you see this? Now, you know how these cameras work, Didi. I don't know if you're in the videography world. That's what I've been doing for the past 12, 13 years since I left active duty.
Okay.
So these cameras, they do skip frames, and it's to save space and all that. So they were 1080p cameras, but you never get a perfectly good 24 frames a second or 30 frames a second.
Okay.
So what they've given us, and it's also been processed, that is a frustration of mine that they gave us, not the best of the best, but you can see him put it down here, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a skip frame. It's obviously something wrapped in a towel. And then when
no, hold on. Let's pause.
Yeah. He's got the backpack on.
We have I'm with you. I'm following you. We do not know if it's something wrapped in the towel. We see something in his hand.
Oh, here we go.
What?
So it's picked up.
Why would he be carrying it?
Picked up again and brought down to his side.
It is.
See what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm following you.
Not his backpack. Obviously, he's still wearing the backpack.
Okay.
And then when he jumps, let me see if I can move this down. As he jumps, he picks it back up again.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's walking away with it.
And I watch this consistently too.
And then you see it again. It might take me a minute to find the frame because it skips around on me here. Where'd it go? Oh, I've already lost him. Dadgummit.
So
grainy footage.
I think you did a great job though, Jared. Proving that he did have something with him for sure. I already knew that he had something in his hand. The question that a lot of people have is, one, is it a rifle? Two, is it possible for this rifle to be able to fit inside of his pants? And is it possible for him to be walking with it? The picture that we have of this character, or this supposed character, Tyler Robinson, when he's on the stairwell with the American Eagle shirt, there's literally nothing in his pants, bro.
Yeah, this is the other thing. While this event is crowded,
strange, there's people look like him, if I'm being honest.
A reasonable explanation.
I agree. It don't even look like him.
It don't even look like Tyler Robinson.
A reasonable explanation is that, knowing this event was going to have thousands and thousands of people, that it was positioned there beforehand at some point in time. That's hence the reason for the black towel, that it's laid up there. We haven't seen footage of that.
Wait, are you arguing that the rifle was already on the roof?
I'm giving, this is, again, we're throwing out assumptions, so I'll make an assumption that could potentially.
Who's throwing out assumptions?
I'm throwing out an assumption here. This is what we've been doing. We're throwing out assumptions, right?
When did I throw out an assumption?
No, when we talk about, Erica Kirk looks really strange. That's an assumption.
That's not an assumption. That's not an assumption.
It absolutely is. You're assuming that she's not responding the right way.
That's not
so. That statement don't. I'm assuming she's not responding to.
Let me tell you. Hang on. We're finding there's information gaps, and are there reasonable explanations for these things?
Yeah.
And you say that, we saw the video of him in the stairwell, and he's not got a rifle.
Yeah.
Got it. Could he have put the rifle together on the roof? I don't see how. I don't think he could have.
Right.
So was this rifle already up there? They're making an assumption that it was it disassembled and put up there at a previous time? These are all things that would be reasonable explanations, and that I'm hoping come out of the investigation.
If that turned out to be true, though, Jared, that would contradict what they've already told us. What they've already told us was the Utah governor has already issued a statement. They said that he walked with the rifle in his pants leg. That has been debunked. He never had a rifle with him, because he was the person that they showed on the Ring camera. You remember that? Mm-hmm. That person was, if you look at the extended clip, he's actually walking. That person is walking with a woman. That wasn't Tyler Robinson. And even if it was, he didn't have a rifle. You can't walk with that rifle in your pants.
Right.
It's impossible.
Right. And this is the other piece of it, that we are, just like we said with the 30-06, everybody's assuming that it's a 30-06 because of one unofficial report, not part of the official. The official report has, people have run with it, that they found the bullet. This is what they've said, that they found the bullet inside of his skin. I don't buy the Superman narrative, which is, the Man of Steel. It doesn't make sense. If it was a 30-06, then that obviously is not going to be the type of injury he's going to have. Right?
It would have blew him, right.
Yeah. Right. It would have taken a chunk out of him, and there's no bone that's going to stop a 30-06 moving at that
speed.
And
I think you corrected me. I think you actually factually corrected me earlier when you said, because I didn't know this, you said that it didn't come from the feds, officially come from the feds, that it was a 30-06. Right. Is that correct?
Yes, that's my understanding, is that this was from unofficial channels said 30-06 rifle, but that hasn't been confirmed by the feds. I think that's my understanding. That as of now, that's
I just want to make sure before we end this live, I want to make sure I get your thoughts on this.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying Erica Kirk's background, Charlie Kirk's background, all the red flags and suspicious behaviors of those surrounding Charlie Kirk the day of the incident mean very little to nothing.
Suspicious behavior of the people around him.
Yes.
You're talking about the guys that jumped over the table that they say handed something off to somebody and that
well,
sort of thing.
I'm not so sure about that. But have you seen the footage of them taking him to the car?
Yeah.
Have you seen that footage?
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about that footage?
I mean, the guy was down on the ground. They're carrying him into the vehicle.
There's no blood anywhere.
Yeah, there is.
I'm talking about there's no blood dripping anywhere.
Oh, I mean,
nowhere. There's no blood on any of the people. There's blood on his. There's some redness on his shirt.
Let me ask you this.
There's no blood dripping anywhere.
Let me ask you this: do I trust Frank Turek's take on this? I do.
What about what I just asked you? Why is there no blood leaking anywhere?
I don't know. Frank Turek saw him in the vehicle, watched him breathe his last.
Brother,
and
that's what he told you.
Says he wasn't even alive.
That's what he told you. What I'm asking you is what we can see with our own eyeballs. I'm not going by what he said. I'm saying, why is there no blood leaking anywhere?
I would have to look at the video because I haven't seen I've seen blood on him. So there was blood.
He was supposedly hit here, right?
Right.
That would be in a massive amount.
Do I know that somebody hadn't grabbed a t-shirt or something and shoved it?
There's no t-shirt. We can see it on camera.
You can see his face, his head, his everything. I'll look at the video to confirm that. I haven't seen that.
The behavior of the people. Have you seen the footage of people breaking down the behavior of the people recording as they're taking them to the car? They're not even recording Charlie Kirk. They're giving each other hand signals, not the security detail. I'm talking about other individuals. Have you seen this breakdown, bro?
No, I haven't seen that.
It's very odd. You don't have to be a conspiracy theorist. What I'm telling you is his entire team, for the most part, maybe there's some exceptions, it was very odd behavior.
Okay. I mean, I'll take your word for it that it's odd, but it's also people responding to a situation that you're telling me that a bunch of 20-somethings and 30-somethings working for TPUSA, we scrutinize their behavior after Charlie Kirk gets shot and spews monstrous amounts of blood out of his neck. That we can go back and pick apart how people respond in that situation. And we're right. Okay. As we should, as you say, and we say, well, this looks like an anomaly to me. That looks like an anomaly to me. It must be other people in on this. This was a planned, other than the guy who we say did it. Is it wrong to think
that way?
I think that takes.
Is it wrong to consider it?
Well, if I thought there was credible evidence for that, then yes. But you're talking about look. This is not a small thing, Didi.
I agree.
Have you been around gunfire before?
Seldomly, I have, but not a whole lot.
Okay. In situations like that, people don't know how they are going to respond, how they're going to react until that situation actually happens. They don't know how they're going to handle the stress. They don't know how they're going to handle the bloodshed. They don't know how they're going to handle the crowd.
Yes, I follow you. But
I'm taking the assumption that what you're saying is that they did act strange. I haven't seen video of them acting strange other than the guy who brought the camera down, and that's perfectly explicable why he took the camera with the SD cards down. But other than that, I haven't seen any strange, odd behavior.
Let me ask you something that who many people are calling the decoy, but I'm speaking to Jared, so I won't use language like that. So I'm not called a conspiracy theorist, even though my pronouns are I told you so. That's why I pinned that comment. I typically say I'm a conspiracy theorist. My pronouns are I told you so. Let me ask you something. The first gentleman who said, I did it, kill me now.
Mm-hmm.
The older gentleman, hands fell down. Why would he do that? Before you answer, he's the same guy who's tied to two other situations, both 9/11, and he was tied to, I believe, the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
He was at both instances. Why would he jump up and say, I did it, kill me now? Jared's gonna hit me with that. I don't know, bro.
I think you're coming at this like a debate, bro. Like, we don't necessarily, and I think that's where the confusion honestly is going. I don't really necessarily think that this is a debate, bro. I think you're coming at this like a debate. Like we agree on most things. Like we don't trust the FBI over here, bro. You feel
This
what I'm saying?
conversation, I don't think we agree on most things in this conversation.
But
Politics maybe, but this no.
Because at the end of the day, we all know that this isn't just gonna end at Tyler Robinson. Like I'm pretty sure all three of us could agree on that, right? So my thing is this. When it comes to the guy, I believe he was a diversion. He was a diversion. He was there to distract the people. So whoever the hell could get away. Now, me personally, I think that the Tyler Robinson guy was a diversion too. So if it is a third guy that's involved, you know what I'm saying? Then he's still out there. But that's what I said. We need proof, though.
You spent the first part of the live talking about Tyler Robinson and why he wanted to kill
all I want to, bro. See, I don't think you understand that part. I could be a conspiracy theorist all I want to, but I still need proof. I could be a lawyer and say, "Oh yeah, this guy did it."
Brother, listen to what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying is, at the very beginning of the live, man, you were arguing in favor of Tyler Robinson being. You said in your clip and on this live. In your clip and this live, you said they already caught the guy. Listen, bro, you said they already caught the guy. Now you're saying you think he's a diversion.
And I also said, if you listen to my whole quote in the clip, I also said that I'm not necessarily going to dismiss Israel or any other third party having something to do with Charlie Kirk's murder. I did say that.
You said that. Your exact words were, they already got the guy. We need to let them do their job.
Right. If they got the guy already, now let's say he's going through trial and some new information comes up. What's wrong with receiving that information? I'm not saying it's wrong whether we receive information from the FBI or Candace Owens. Any information is gonna be helpful to the case. So I'm not understanding. Like that's what I'm like. I truly think you're coming at this like a debate, bro. And it's really not a debate. Like we agree with most things. I don't trust the FBI when it comes to them solving or giving us all the information on Charlie Kirk, okay? But my thing is this. If we need to be focusing on anything, we need to be focusing on the last words of Charlie Kirk, the deal that Netanyahu tried to give Turning Point USA. I think we need to be necessarily focusing more on Netanyahu.
I don't think it's an either or. I'm with you. I don't think it's an either or though, bro. I think it's an and both. We can focus on both. The red flags and
the connection. That's what I'm saying. This isn't a debate, my guy. You see what I'm saying? If Erica Kirk is connected with Bibi Netanyahu or something like that when it comes to Turning Point USA, her taking over fairly, shortly, which I find that to be suspicious. But like I said, and I'm gonna say this again, I just think this is kind of like confusing on your end. I can be a conspiracy theorist all I want. We can say, yeah, I think this and I think that, but how can we prove it? If we can't prove it, then the claim is moot, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Jared, what you got?
Yeah, I was just going to say that, this happens anytime there's a big incident, we do this. It's, I guess our nature is as internet people, we start going back, and when we find any linkage, any and all linkages that could potentially lead to something, right? It's building that story and trying to figure out those things. That's what you're doing. I think that in these DC, political, all these spheres of people, that's just not. It's not a hard thing to do, and I don't think that it, with the Erica Kirk thing,
would you consider Erica Kirk as being part of DC though?
I mean, you said her dad was connected to that. Well, then why does the linkage matter? If he was part of the DOD, why would that linkage
up, bro? Like I don't understand.
That's her dad. What I'm saying is she wasn't in politics, right?
I mean, she would. Yeah, she married Charlie Kirk. Yeah, she was in politics
prior to that point.
No, I don't think she was.
Okay, that's what, because you said it's easy to go to DC and can make all these connections. She wasn't in DC.
Her dad was connected to DC. We don't know other linkages that you could probably go back and surf her history, things that we probably don't even have access to, and find some little snippet to take you from one place to another. And you
what
lead
if you
it.
Find
the end result. the end result of all of this, based on you saying she didn't respond the way she shouldn't have taken over Turning Point USA, even though that's what apparently Charlie Kirk wanted.
That quickly.
And
no. She should take over, but not that.
This is a 1,000-person organization with thousands of chapters all across the country, 2,000 chapters all across the country. It's a big entity, and that entity needs a leader. They had Andrew Colvin, I forget his name, the guy who was his okay, there you go. So Starry Night said her mom worked for the government. So we can make linkages all day long. These are close-knit groups, but nonetheless, this was a place that was a rudderless ship. And they do this because there were people saying, what's going to happen? Am I going to lose my job? Is everything going to be shut down now that this happened? They did that not just to quiet and to put at ease their staff, but it makes perfect sense that they would do that to put the American people at ease after having suffered this loss. So you might disagree with the timing and say, well, it's just too soon. But it's not too soon for us to say that she acted funny and that she could be in on some cabal that was involved in all of this. So it's not too soon for that, but it's too soon for them to put somebody at the head of the largest advocacy organization in the country.
Are you directing that at me or at?
I'm directing it in general.
I never said that it's too early for her to join. I never said that.
Then I'll direct that one at Vashon, that it was too early.
Yeah.
So but this is the thing. It's like the timing of all of this. Anyway, there you go. There's my 2 cents.
All right, I'm gonna give both of you.
Give me one thing, Dee. Do you understand where I'm coming from on this?
I do. I think listen.
Because you've said it twice that I'm being disingenuous. I feel like I'm being.
We're not trying to think you, brother. I told you about a film. Well, first and foremost, we started this conversation, and I asked you what you knew about Freemasonry, what you know about the Kabbalah, what you know about occultism as it pertains to like Hollywood, the CIA, their history.
Sure.
All this stuff is real, provable.
Oh yeah.
They have ideologies and things that they practice. We've seen it. Part of it is predictive programming. Part of it is MK Ultra. Part of it is other things that we can't talk about on YouTube. There's a reason why so many people come to the conclusions they come to when a lot of these things happen. If you understood the information about Freemasonry, occultism, the Kabbalah,
I do understand. I do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you understood that, and then I present to you a movie that almost down to a T, same date, the killer, same name, the person that died, same name, shot in the same place. It was an Israel-Palestine conflict in the film that's connected to some other stuff. It wouldn't even be a question. They literally do this. It's part of their moving up in rank. They have to place certain things out to the public. If you do I don't have a channel of just spewing a bunch of stuff.
No, but Charlie Kirk was 5 years old when that movie came out.
What's your point?
That a movie, I get it. There's predictive programming. Are you saying that, like, how do we end up with a Charlie Kirk at 31 years later? And it happens that these two incidents happen to line up. That there was a pretty blonde girl, somebody named Kirkland, and
Charles Kirkland.
And the date.
Stop.
Yeah, well,
Stop.
I get it. Charles Kirkland. Fine, whatever. Charles Kirkland and a Charlie Kirk 31 years later, and you think that the father of Charlie Kirk decided to name his son Charlie Kirk, that they plucked this kid from, from his life to take him all the way into the head of TPUSA so that on September 10th, they could put a bullet in him in order to make a social move, in order to, do whatever it is that they're supposed to be doing.
I don't know if it's just how you saying it, but that just sounds insane, bro. I don't know if that's just how you saying it.
Because I won't disagree with predictive programming. I will not. But it's to shape larger social movements. When we make a 31-year leap on something that just happened to line up.
Do you think dark magic is real?
Yeah. Well,
do you? A better question.
I think that
a better question. Do you believe other people believe dark magic is real?
I think they do, but it's just a demonic. It's it's just demonic.
Okay.
100%.
So you know that Moloch is an entity that many people actually worship. It's in the scriptures.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe.
You think it's possible? Yeah. You think it's possible that some of those people may be in high positions in our government? Just possible.
Oh yeah, probably.
Do you know some of the things? Do you know some of their practices involves predictive programming in films?
Well, I don't know about that, but
I
I
do.
know I believe
studied
I
this
believe in
normalizing
I
nudity,
believe in
normalizing pedophilia, basically trying to normalize things that wouldn't be basically accepted in America.
I mean, you can trace a Margaret Sanger and abortion to child sacrifice, which has been part of occult behavior for a long time. I mean, it's always been part of it for all the demonic forces, the removal of the child. That's just a thing. But you know, do I think that I feel kind of like you're taking the God piece out of it. So this is the war on this plane, right? In our existence, it is God, Christ, and evil that exist, and things can happen or be stopped from happening. Evil practices will go on. You know, God will everything that happens on this earth, God allows to happen.
Yep.
Period.
Right.
So do I think that witches, you know, the ones that cast the spell on Charlie Kirk in I don't know if you heard about this in Jezebel,
the name of
Jezebel magazine.
The name of the place was Jezebel, which is the same name of the storm in the film Snake Eyes.
Right. So the Jezebel magazine is somebody went on Etsy and yeah, got it. They cast spells and all that stuff. So do I think that played a role in this? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's a fallen world. It's an evil world.
I do. I agree with you there. Here's the last question, so I can give both of you your closing statement, so we can hop up here.
Yep.
I do want to ask this question first. Do you believe that they have ever, and they I mean like elite individuals in this world, the ones that run Hollywood, media,
lobbyists? Yeah, I know.
I get you. Yeah. Do you believe that it has ever been done in the history of humankind or the history of media, since we've had media, where they've placed something in a film that they are planning to do in the future? That's not even debatable. The Simpsons has done it a lot.
Well, the Simpson predictions, those are interesting. Donald Trump coming down the escalator.
These words, bro. Yeah. Interesting, suspicious. But that's the farthest that you'll go with it. No, it's not just interesting and suspicious. There's something there because the person who created the Simpsons is also a Freemason. But I know you say your knowledge on that is limited, so I do understand. But it's predictive programming. There's a reason why they can have an episode, however many decades ago, of Donald Trump becoming president. He's coming down the elevator with his wife, waving his hand, and then the exact same thing happened later. It's not because they predicted anything; it's because they're planning it.
And so there is no free will for any of the people that are involved in those predictions.
I believe in the scriptures. We know that free will is a thing, but if they are part of the same organizations and circles, they're a part of it. Like they're playing their roles.
Well, that's where you kind of lose me, because people
I believe you.
But yeah, people make decisions being made literally decades apart. And do I think that the demon world, the evil world, it's full of trickery and magic? It's not anything that is, basically they try to mimic God with deceptions and evils. So we probably agree on that.
Yeah.
But do I think you would have to line up free will by so many people in so many ways to try to draw these same linkages that you're essentially doing away with what makes us human, as God told us we have free will.
Oh boy.
So that's the thing. You're saying that anybody and everybody, the whole world it's just a playwright being what we perceive and what's happening in media and all that stuff. It's just another script in Hollywood being written by the devil.
Yes. And that's in the scriptures.
Okay. Well,
I mean, literally in the scriptures.
That isn't that he exists to divide and sow seeds of chaos and division. But this is the thing. The dichotomy of that is that we have the free will. We have the option to choose good. We have the option to choose evil. And we're making those decisions along the way. And you were saying that the evil forces have the ability to predict the future. And that's not true.
Do you believe that presidents are elected?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your opinion on just real quick? I know I said one last question, but this is reminding me of something, because I've watched Deshaun's show quite a few times, but I don't know if I've ever caught your opinion on this. Donald Trump's relationship with Bibi Netanyahu in that one country. What's your opinion on how he's been handling it and the backlash that he's received because of it?
So
because we talk about free will and all of that.
Sure. Well, I mean, he got in front of the cameras and he said these two countries don't know what the F they're doing.
That's the biggest criticism he's ever given them.
He has. Look, I'll be honest. You're not going to like my opinion on Israel.
What you got?
Israel's obviously, I believe in Israel's right to exist, and this is the one
I believe in every country's right to exist.
Right. And that there is never going to be, there cannot be a two-state solution because it is the ideologies that surround Israel and the ideologies that are in Hamas are entirely antithetical to Israel in general. So it's this two-state solution is why it's been going on since 1948, because they can't coexist when one side needs for the other to be destroyed. But then people say, well, we're giving them so much money. We're giving them $3.3 billion. And
$3.8 billion.
Right. 3.8, well, 3.8, whatever it is, 3.8 billion. But the memorandum of understanding that we have with them is that they spend 78% of it back in the US. So it really equates to $900 million. And I can give you a list, Egypt, Sudan, all these other places that we give over $1 billion to. So it's a false equivalency. We're given 3.8 billion, which turns into 900 million because they're investing it again in the military industrial complex. It's like all of our stuff. It's a money laundering thing that gets siphoned back into the private economy or back into these companies.
So you're fine with Donald Trump's handling of Israel and the whole war and all of that?
That's no, not entirely. There's too much to get into though in this amount of time because it is nuanced. It's nuanced. People want to make it so one-sided,
right.
and we would need a 2-hour conversation just for that.
I think he's handled it horribly. I think one thing we know about Donald Trump, if you don't, whether you like or love him, hate him, feel indifferent about him, one thing about Donald Trump we can all agree with is that he's loose at the mouth. That's why a lot of people like him, because he's very unorthodox when it comes to being a politician. He's almost like unlike anything we've ever seen before, because one would even say that he's reckless by the mouth. Something Donald Trump has refused to do, something that he's done with almost every other politician that exists in America. He's never really criticized Bibi Netanyahu. In fact, it's always the opposite, the other end of the spectrum. That's odd. When the American people is giving so much pushback on your handling of the Epstein files and what's happening over there in Palestine, and you double down.
Well, can I just
go ahead?
All right. No. I hate to say this, Jared, but before I say my statement, I'm not going to necessarily say that Trump has never critiqued Israel on record, because he did critique Israel when it comes
since he's become president.
No. Since he become president, no.
That's my point.
I will give you that one. But but you said ever though. You said he's never critiqued Israel
since he's been in the White House.
Okay, since he's been in the White House, I'll give you that. No,
that is an absolute statement, and I don't know that that's accurate.
Prove me wrong.
No.
I will attempt to.
Now, prove me wrong. Do it right now on camera. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. He said Bibi Netanyahu was the greatest man in the world. What?
There's no way I can do. There's no way I can find that with comb through the internet while we're live on camera.
It should be easy though. I'm saying it might be easy. Just give it a shot. You're not gonna find it.
Hold up. There was a whistleblower. Excuse me, guys. There was a whistleblower that came out and said that Donald Trump just got off the phone with Bibi Netanyahu, and after he got off the phone, Trump said, and I quote, "This guy is fucking me." So,
I agree with you, but that wasn't a public statement that he said. He's probably said a lot of things behind the scenes. But
I said whistleblower. So my thing is this: when we can't say that Trump isn't fully aware that Bibi Netanyahu has influence over him and our country.
That's not my statement.
Trump isn't stupid, but he has to bend over for these people. Why? I don't know. I don't know if it's the Epstein list. Don't know why, but this is how I knew that Trump is basically getting pegged by Israel. Tom Alexandrovich. Do you guys know who that is?
No.
Didi? Jared? So he's the leader of Israel's cyber security intelligence, right? And he's also Benjamin Netanyahu's right-hand man. And this is for your low IQ viewers here as well.
Bro, stop, man. Stop.
I'm trolling. I'm just trolling. But I'm just joking, guys. I love y'all. But Tom Alexandrovich is actually Benjamin Netanyahu's right-hand man, right? And he was caught in a sex sting operation in Las Vegas. Have you heard of that? And he was caught with 7 other guys.
Okay.
And after he got caught, he was actually taken to Washington, and the Trump administration actually questioned Tom. And not even 48 hours later, he was released back into Israel. And this guy was actually
caught, yeah, I remember that.
This guy was actually caught soliciting children, and it was under a blackmail operation, which is fairly, consistent with what Israel always does, and that ties to what's that guy named Epstein as well, is that basically he was working with the CIA because him and Ghislaine Maxwell were alleged Mossad agents, and they were working on a blackmail operation to basically blackmail our most popular and powerful people here in the Western Hemisphere. So my thing is this, ladies and gentlemen, Trump has definitely let me down when it comes to putting America first. And not even just with Israel, it's with the 600,000 Chinese kids that he's just accepted as far as taking them into all of our Ivy League schools. You could have given those spots to American kids who actually bust their ass. You see what I'm saying? Was actually born here and raised here in America. And it's just not really feeling like, honestly, this isn't what I voted for at all when it comes to America first. Now, granted, he is doing a fairly good job when it comes to the border. Over 90% of border crossings has stopped. So wait, you don't think he's doing good on the border? Well, you know what? Hold up. I'll give you this. I would say
it's not even remotely close to what he advertised.
No, you're right. That's what I was about to say. I will say that he should be getting them out way more, because it's looking like Obama is going to be doing better than him on that end. But here's the thing, though. Even if he is getting the illegal migrants out, right? I don't necessarily agree with him getting out the illegal migrants and putting in other people like Asians, Indians. Well, that's kind of the same thing, but Chinese and Indians and other people from other countries, and just replacing those illegal migrants with those people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Donald Trump is paid off, bought and paid for, like most, if not all, other presidents. You're not making it to the White House to do what you want. You're going to do like everybody else when you have sponsors and funders. What's her name? Miriam Adelson?
Miriam Adelson. Yeah.
When she gives you that amount of money, she's probably going to have some influence. But listen, like Jared said, we can maybe go live again and talk about this. I'm with it. I promise you I'm with it. I'll have you all on again. I enjoyed this conversation, but I really do need to go.
Hold on. I gotta ask Jared this. I'm so sorry. So Jared,
I'm not about to kick you off. I'm about to give both of y'all 2 minutes to give your
okay. So Jared, you gotta admit, when it comes to JD Vance and Palantir, bro, you gotta admit that is a little sus. Even when it comes to the connection with JD
It's
Vance,
a lot of sus, bro. It's a lot of sus.
I know it's a lot of sus, but I'm asking Jared. I know me and you on the same page. That's why I'm like,
Jared talking about critical thinking. Deshaun about to ask you a really good question, and I'm curious to hear your answer. You're gonna shoot it down like all the other overwhelming stuff about the Charlie Kirk incident. It means nothing.
No,
I
just try not to sensationalize that much. That's my style, Didi. I'm sorry, it's just my style.
I'm even trying to get Jared on that as well.
You are two sensational guys. I'm not a sensationalist. That's not my style. Here's the thing.
JD Vance came out of nowhere, and we know that JD Vance does have connections with Elon Musk.
Peter Thiel, Palantir, all that. Yeah, I got it. Do I think that there's public-private partnerships and that there is nefarious stuff going on behind the scenes with big companies? 100%. Do I think that intel agencies are corrupted and still have cells that are operating, devoid of any accountability behind the scenes? 100%.
How upset are you about that?
I'm very upset about it. I'm very upset about it. I'm very upset about it. How am I upset about that?
How do you display that frustration?
If I see something, I typically call it out if I've got some proof for it, but I generally just rail about it and say, we know that this is happening behind the scenes. And let people know that because most of the stuff that I focus on, politics of the day, what's going on in the world. And do I think that there are, we kind of accept that there are deep-seated, I guess, rot is what I always call it, in things like the FBI and the NSA and the CIA, Mossad, people, when I talk about, good, when I talk positively about Israel, everybody says that I'm dancing for the Israelis and all that, even though I acknowledge that they are
man. Don't do that.
I acknowledge that they are a corrupt intel agency, just like the CIA, just like the. So
that's the biggest red flag, bro.
Dude, come on, man. Okay, so listen. We're definitely going to digress. So listen, to wrap up this conversation, I will give both of you 2 minutes to give your closing statements. I'm going to time you. It's 4:30. Sometime during 4:32, I'm going to stop whoever chooses to go first, and then I'll let the next person give their closing statement. Go ahead.
Well,
I'll happily go first. So yeah, I think that there are some legitimate concerns about how this. I'll get back to the point that we were making, which was talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Do I think that there are some anomalies and there's some strange things? Yeah, there are. Do I think these are provable of the entire way that this has been presented to us is incorrect? No, but I also think that we're still in the first report time frame. The FBI is doing their work. I don't have entire faith in the FBI. But I like to think that under Kash Patel, who was friends with Charlie Kirk, and under Dan Bongino, who was friends with Charlie Kirk, that these people will use the resources at their disposal to deliver a trustworthy message for how this all went down. Something that is prosecutable inside a court of law, and that whoever it is...
The same way they did with the Epstein situation too, huh?
No, I'm not happy about how the Epstein thing went down.
I'm saying, are they going to handle it the same way, huh? They're going to give us the honest truth.
I'm hoping that they will, just because they, that's a whole nother story too. We could spend a 2-hour rabbit hole on that one. But in this instance, do I think that justice will be found for Charlie Kirk? I hope so, but I reserve the right and I reserve the possibility that they're going to bungle this like they bungle a lot of other things. What I'm more concerned about is the movement that Charlie had created, the reliance people had on him for information, good, solid, Christ-based, in most instances, information, how that is gone and people felt a void. So for their sake, because they looked at him, he was evangelizing. Let's be honest. He was evangelizing to a lot of people while meeting in the arena of the culture war. That's what for that sake alone, I hope that there is. And of course, for Erica and his kids, that they find justice. And I'm willing to wait because I feel like muddying the waters, churning up all the muck for everybody else, that are just taking whatever they hear and running with it and getting sensory overload because there's, 20 or 30 different conspiracies out there. I don't think that helps those people. So and that's it. There's my take on it.
Thanks. Yeah, go ahead, Sean. You got 2 minutes, bro.
So first thing I just want to say is that, am I throwing out that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death? No, I'm not going to ever throw that out because, in my opinion, it always leads back to some form of Jewish oligarchy or some form of Jewish lobbyists. So my thing is this, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I want to be a conspiracy theorist with you guys. Am I a conspiracy theorist with you guys? Yes, but to a certain extent. I don't let conspiracies basically challenge or control my way of thinking. I let facts control my way of thinking. If I know something is a fact or something that can be objectively true or proven, then that's what I'm going to go with. Now, a lot of stuff that I heard throughout this podcast, this episode, it was very, very interesting. But my thing is, I just found it to just be a lot of hoopla just for now. Now, in my opinion, some of this stuff could be credible in the investigation when it comes to Charlie Kirk. Erica Kirk, I don't know, really not so much. But when we're focusing more on the shooter or the quote unquote shooter or the trajectory of where he got shot, that stuff should matter in the investigation. But Charlie's wife, Erica, and her basically being in Israel like that, yes, that stuff is interesting information. Yes, I wouldn't throw that out. But my thing is, what ultimately led to Charlie Kirk getting shot? That's the $1 million question here, right? So, yes, I do agree that it's weird that Erica Kirk, took over Turning Point USA this quickly. I'm pretty sure both of you guys disagree with that. But I would want my wife to tend to the kids and make sure my kids are all right and not, I don't know what the hell Erica Kirk was doing before she was running Turning Point USA, but I would want her to continue to do that. Or I don't know if that was being a mother to the children or basically assisting Charlie or whatnot. But my thing is for her to
20
take
seconds.
over this fast, I just really find it to be very, very suspicious. But it's not anything that's objectively true as far as it leading to Charlie Kirk's death. Now, and I'm not saying that's what you were saying, but a lot of what I was getting from you was basically like speculation of it probably tying to Erica or Israel, which I want to agree with the Israel part, but we just need more proof.
Okay. Fair enough. Articulated well. Well, Jared, Deshaun, thank you so much, man. And I really do mean this. We should do this again on the topics, more so on the topics that we got to towards the end. I love to talk about that, but just a disclaimer: going forward, we will use the language "them boys," and we will not say the state of the name of that state, especially after what Kash Patel just agreed to do with Democrat. I forget the guy's position when they're going to start censoring people across the internet.
Have you ever heard of Project Nimbus?
I'm not. I forgot. I don't know the name of it, but they're going to start censoring
you
people
should
who
do an
talks about.
You should look into Project Nimbus. It's a $45 million investment that Israel is giving YouTube right now. So, and it's all fun right now. You guys aren't low IQ. I was just joking. It's all laughs at the end of the day. I just want some engagement in the chat. But you guys should definitely check out Project Nimbus because that is going to ultimately make or break us. Now, we could accept it as me and you and Jared. We can accept it as content creators, or I'm hoping that we can fight against it because I know I'm going to fight against it.
For sure.
So a lot of people aren't talking about this, and you're a very, very smart intellectual guy. So I would have thought you would have known about Project Nimbus, especially you being on YouTube and stuff. So definitely check that out. Let your people know about Project Nimbus.
Bet. Thanks, bro. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. I will definitely do that. I'm going to go ahead and I've never had to. I think it's just kick from studio. Is that how I do it?
I just leave. I say I can just leave.
Okay. Don't put it that way. Well, once again, thank you all so much for joining me. I don't have your information, Jared. Maybe Deshaun can send it over to me, and we can connect, and we can do this again sometime if that sounds good to you all.
Sounds great.
All right. See you.
Yes, sir.
All right. What do y'all think? I hadn't really looked at the chat a whole lot. What do y'all think? What do you think about the conversation? What do y'all think about the conversation? Listen, please do not be disrespectful. Was y'all rocking with the conversation? Listen, this is what I will say. I like having conversations, and if you all want me to do that more going forward, I'll do it. If not, but I'm truly, I want to understand, because there are people that look at me and many of you as crazies because we talk about this type of stuff and we lean into this type of stuff. So they look at us the way we look at them, like, why aren't you looking into this? Why aren't you suspicious of this? Using words like interesting and suspicious is just not enough for me. If there's something there, just look into it. If it leads nowhere, it leads nowhere. But you should look into it. I think there was a lot of gaslighting. I agree. That's all. So I'm always curious to have conversations like that, respectful conversations. And I think they were very unrespectful, especially Jared. Because I'm just trying to understand, right? I believe there's a lot of cognitive dissonance in some of these conversations that blows my mind. It blows my mind. Let me get to some super chats, man. I'm taking forever. Sorry, y'all. Shout out to Hannah V for the $3 super chat. Yo, turn this. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. The Empress of the Galaxy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. The Empress of Galaxy, thank you so much for the $2 super chat once again. Supreme Court passed gun rights with no permits. That's right. In right before this situation happened with Charlie Kirk, There was a law that was passed in Utah where they made it legal to carry firearms specifically on college campuses. Look it up. There's so many weird things, man. So many weird things. If you still believe that Tyler Robinson did this, I mean, God bless you. I really do mean that. God bless you. The Empress of Galaxy, thank you so much once again for the $2 super chat. UK digital ID, no work, eat, live without it after 2028. Yeah, I've been hearing about the UK thing. I saw a video on it. Hater Gill, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I believe in the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. I think that was supposed to be for Deshaun. Hater Gill, once again, thank you for the $10 super chat. I don't have any evidence, and neither has any been produced that Bin Laden worked with the CIA and ISI. But it is a possibility. We are connecting dots from the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. And I'm not well informed on that topic, so I try not to step into something I'm not well informed on. But I will say this comment is very indicative of what this channel is and what we do. If something does not make sense, we connect our own dots. We don't wait for the FBI to tell us what to think and how to feel and what direction to go. The Most High God blessed me with a brain and common sense and the ability to think critically. Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's rain. It don't smell like rain. It does not look like rain. It does not feel like rain. I'm going to think for myself. Hater Gill, thank you so much for the okay, I'm on another one. The Sparrow, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. The Out of Pocket Variety Show, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. To act like this country is impervious to conspired against its own before it's false. Exactly. Ask the Kennedy family. Tucker is doing a 9/11 docuseries as we speak. Candace has actually done one as well. And another person that I think is very credible when it comes to this is Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines does a great job of breaking that situation down. He will be called a conspiracy theorist for literally connecting the dots of actual facts. People 25 years ago had to deal with being labeled conspiracy theorists. It's a compliment. I identify as a conspiracy theorist. My pronouns, just make sure you get them right. My pronouns are I told you so. Absolutely. Shout out to Jordan Burke for the $5 super chat. My question to you, Didi, is why don't you expose Dr. Malachi York or Phase One, the rapper 33 Freemason controlled opposition brainwashing black folk? I'm not familiar with them. I may have to look into them. First, I think maybe I've seen his name before. Shout out to Southern Diplomat for the $5 super chat. I understand Charlie Brown's teacher more than the guy on the right. I'm not sure I follow that. William Elk, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. It's sus to deny the blatantly obvious. Yeah, I agree. Regardless of what we're talking about. William Elk, thank you so much for the $2 super chat once again. Do the backstory on everyone around Charlie. Agreed. Why is that weird to do? What do you mean, what's the end goal? That's what Jared asked me. He said, what's the end goal? What's the end goal? The truth. The truth is always the end goal to everything. What they're telling us, we don't believe it. Historically, we have good reason. And based on what they're telling us with this situation, we have good reason not to believe them. Asia DeCasa, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. William Elk, once again, thank you for the $2 super chat. Y'all can look it up right now live. The Truman Show, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I agree. The Truman Show, they create our reality. Wake up. I saw somebody cover that from The Truman Show, which I didn't watch when I was younger. I believe that's an older show. I never watched it, but I'm vaguely familiar with some of the concepts from the show. But essentially, I believe there was one point in the show where the guy realized that his wife was in on not grooming him, but, you know, being a part of like basically controlled opposition. His entire life was a lie. And once he realized it, there's a scene where he stands up and she's freaking out because she realized, like, oh, he gets it now. I'm exposed. Don't pretend like it's out of the realm of possibility that it could be an inside job. We don't know that. And if it turns out not to be, great. But don't tell me not to look into it. That's odd. Natalie Harris, thank you so much for the $3 super sticker. William Ellick, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. These guys are dishonest, evil. We're not going to call people names. You can call them dishonest, but let's refrain from the name calling. I will not read your super chats. Don't waste your money, because if you send in money to say mean things, I'm not going to read it, guys. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. William Ellick, border law create mass surveillance police state. Exactly. That's what Palantir is. William Ellick, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. You smoked them. I appreciate that. Natalie, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker. William Ellick, once again, $2 super chat. Truth stands strong and always will in my life. Exactly. You're not Deshaun or the Chicago conservative said that I'm treating this like a debate. No, I'm not treating it like a debate. I believe I'm coming with truth. I'm pursuing truth. If you're arguing against truth, you're going to lose every time. You're going to lose every time. Nina Gonzalez, thank you so much for the $5 super sticker. Jordan Burke, please look into Dr. Malachi York in phase 1. Okay, I'll write that down now. Malachi York. I got you in phase 1. Jordan, I got you, bro. Or girl. Jordan is a genderless name, if you will. William Ellick, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I discovered you a few days ago. You're legit, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I don't ever claim to be an expert on anything. I just claim to be a person who's trying to pursue the truth. There's a lot of lies in this world. You're going to look crazy in the world for the lies. He is risen. Thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. All right. Blessed Lottie. Forgive me if I butchered your name. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Since I've started watching your channel over a month ago, it pushed me to do more research on issues. That's all I ask. I encourage other people to just look into things. Don't just accept mainstream narrative, right? Don't just call things suspicious and, well, that's interesting. Those type of people are typically manipulated. They're taken advantage of. Living life like this, like it's tunnel vision almost. It's like, no, like there's a lot happening around us. This is a spiritual fight. AD, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Kirk, wounded in the neck was an exit wound. Slow vid, absolutely. It was an exit wound. Allegedly. But for some reason, they still entertaining the fact that Tyler Robinson did it from the front. What? Louis Lyon, $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, y'all. Yeah. Crazy. We're truth seekers. That's a fact. Ro Cheney, that's a fact. We're truth seekers. Is who? Erica Kirk is John Bonet Ramsey. Did he look it up, do a video? I'm not for sure who that is. I'll look it up, though. I don't know what you mean by this person. Hey, but I do want to reiterate something before I get off of here. I said at some point in this conversation, did y'all know there's a movie called Heads of State that came out, I believe, in July of this year? The same actress from the movie Snake Eyes that has been all over the internet, the same actress stars in this movie Heads of State. Her name is Elizabeth Kirk. She becomes the vice president. That's wild. See, when you say things like that, they're like, okay, you discovered that. Now what? What do you mean now what? I'm not saying I saved the world by bringing it, but this lets you know that these people do plan ahead. They do foreshadow. That is wild. Her name is Elizabeth Kirk in the film. Elizabeth Kirk. And she becomes vice president of the United States. She's the same actor from Snake Eyes. You know, the movie where the guy named Charles Kirkland is assassinated in the left side of his neck in the Trump Tower on September 10th by a guy named Tyler. Jared says, and people like Jared says, so what? There are 17 coincidences from this one film. down to the name of the person, down to the part of the neck he was. It doesn't matter that they spoke about a storm named Jezebel, and then Megyn Kelly comes out with this story about Jezebel with Erica Kirk. I'm like, what, bro? And this is in kindness. It's just what, bro? You're losing me, man. You're losing me. At the very least, can I get a wow? That's crazy. I can't get that. I ain't even get that from him. He was like, I'm like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. What? Part of me believed that he's trolling, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he was trolling me. I think he was for real. Yes, Natalie Harris, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. World Stage, Snake Eyes 2.0. 87,000 coincidences. They mean nothing. Nope. They mean nothing. I don't know anything about Freemasonry. I don't know anything about occultism, any of that. The fact that most presidents are open Freemasons. I believe all presidents are Freemasons. That's my belief. Public information, most of them are. Not to mention that they're all related, except for one, allegedly. There's nothing there. Jared said that he believes that presidents are elected, despite the fact that all presidents are related to each other. Huh? What? With their lineage going back to Scotland or Scottish. Okay, cool. LaShawn, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Please require guests to watch your videos before debating you so they are without the excuse of not being aware of so-called conspiracies. Hey, that's actually very good advice. Deshaun, Chicago conservative, I don't know what he's watched from my channel, but he was familiar with me. We've been familiar with each other for at least a few weeks now. I've been on his show before, and they talk politics, right? But they discuss, which is, there's nothing wrong with this. They actually discuss like everyday politics. They're reacting to things, different bills, and different press conferences and meetings, and incidents that happen in politics on the on the world stage, so to speak, right? And I'm with you. It's just I'm far beyond. I'm conservative leaning. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, so I'm conservative leaning by default. But if you're asking me to identify with one of the political sides, I'm not on the political spectrum at all as far as the paradigm, because they're two wings of the same bird. All politicians are paid off, allegedly. 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 Roseanne, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the family. William Ellick, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Crisis actor, same people in. Exactly. That's the guy who was a decoy. I did it. Arrest me. Why would you do that? Who told you to do that? If you can admit that his behavior was weird or suspicious at the least, that's not even the most important thing. Who told him to do that and why? That's kind of important, bro. Tyler, 22 or 20-year-old Tyler Robinson didn't tell him to do that. We believe that he was texting his lover. He did this because he disagreed with Charlie Kirk politics. But he also had this grand scale of a plan that he also had crisis actors and decoys set in place. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Brenta 19, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Stephen Miller at the funeral said Erica is the storm. He did. I showed this in my video. And in the movie, the storm is called Jezebel. Yep, we covered this in my movie. If you have not seen, hit the like button. I want to say once again, please follow me on all my other socials, because of what we talk about. My YouTube can be taken from me any day. So a way that I can still connect with you all if I have to start another channel is if you follow my other YouTube channels, even if you don't watch them or watch the videos. Follow my other YouTube channels, follow my Instagram and my Twitter. I don't post nearly as often over there, but it's another way to connect with you all. Just in case my channel is taken. Hit the like button, please. But yeah, I agree. If you have not seen my Erica Kirk live from yesterday, I highly encourage you to check it out. If you have not seen my Erica Kirk video from 2 days ago. They are both, one is at like 250,000, the other is like 140,000. And that's just to say a lot of people rocking with it. It's some interesting information. You should go and check it out. It's pretty dope. I did cover this, by the way, Brenton. That's part of the reason I'm mentioning it. I spoke about all the, as Jared would say, interesting points. Okay. Dang, I was about to log off. I wouldn't have got this $50. No, I'm joking. Jackie, all false. Thank you so much for the $50 super sticker. Means a lot. I don't get a lot of $50, man. So that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. That tells me, or at least it communicates to me, that you're at least supporting my journey. That's what I like to call it. I'm just trying to get to the truth, everybody. Thank you so much for this. It means a lot. All right, everybody. I'm going to log off of here. Y'all be safe as always. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday night. Love y'all. God bless. Pray for everybody mentioned in this live. Pray for my guests. Pray for me. Right? And I'll pray for you all. God bless you. My name's Demetrius. I go by Diddy. Until next time.